It is that time once again in Saturday mornings in the US and of course really late in the evening in Australia where you come with Galaxy of Heroes questions and we have a panel to answer your questions. This is Jedi Academy here on the RSG channel. Welcome everyone. I am Finity with Reality Skewed Gamers. Hope everyone is having a great start to their day, or in Heinz's case, a good end to your day, as we get ready to answer your questions. Now, before I introduce the panel, simple instructions on how to do this. All you have to do is type it in the chat, type in your question, start it with the word question so our bot picks it up. We're going to queue up those questions. We're going to ask everyone here those questions for you, get you some answers, and start off your day correct without any Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes confusion. So let's go ahead and introduce the panel here. First off, to my, well, it's my right, but your screen left. It's Heinzie.
Hey, how are you, Finn? Good morning, superstar. Good morning to all the legends in the US and everyone else around the world. They're still kicking on. We're not done yet, man. We're just warming up. But cheers to all you guys. I hope you're all well. And thanks for having me back, man. I do love it. It's fun.
Of course. And then, down below, once again, with that mask, it is good old Maurice.
I forgot to change the pictures. Hey guys, that was a pretty enthusiastic intro there, buddy. That was a good one. Even
We're off to a flyer.
yeah.
Good old Maurice's picture. I'm telling you, good old Maurice is always on his Zoom picture game and his green screen background game. I'm not gonna lie, there isn't anyone that I've seen compete with good old Maurice in the quality of those right now.
I don't know if I want Gom underneath me, though, dude. That's a scary proposition in so many ways. Let's be honest. But everyone to their own, man.
Tickle, tickle.
Ooh.
All right. So, I want to start out this Jedi Academy before I start off, we have somebody else joining the chat right now. She was hanging out with Heinze yesterday, but made some proper adult decisions, unlike Ranger. It is Jedi Master Adastra.
Good morning.
Good morning. It is glad.
Yes, I did not get drunk that time, so.
I'm very glad to hear your chipper voice. We missed it last week.
Yeah. Oh, yep. Never again, man. Never again.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
At least
right.
for the vodka. I just mean for the vodka. Never
Okay.
again.
Okay, restricted, never again. Got it.
Yeah. Yep,
All right.
Yeah, happy to be here. Happy to be here this time.
And we are always glad to have you. So, I want to start off this Jedi Academy a little bit different, and maybe this is more personal to me, but I think everyone can kind of share these sentiments. We had a content creator that for RSG has been a longtime friend to us, Urs. And he is, in my opinion, and I will stand by it, the pioneer of streaming GAC. He made it fun for everybody. He had his own ideas. He worked with different teams. And he basically led to what allowed Galaxy of Heroes to be streamed. And I don't think that can be forgotten by anybody in the community, what Urs did in that manner. A few weeks ago, he put out his thing where he was going to evaluate the game for a little while and see whether or not he was going to play it. He announced recently that he was unfortunately just not happy with the game. He used to be, and I don't mean this in any bad way, he used to be extremely fun on his streams and just have fun with the chat, have fun with the game, win or lose. And as he's progressed and he's gotten higher relics and just more difficult roster, he's had a more difficult time in GAC, and the negativity just kind of surrounding the game has unfortunately kind of gone into the game with him. And he's noticed that. He's openly admitted this as well. And he has come to the decision that he is going to, unfortunately, quit the game. Now, in one way, I'm happy for him, right? Nobody should be playing a game that is miserable for them, right? If you're not happy and you're finding yourself constantly being negative over something, yeah, it's a good idea to step away. So I am happy for Urs that he's able to make that decision, one that a lot of people are usually not able to make. But it is still sad that we are losing Urs from the community So just as I know he's not on Jedi Academy, but he's a fellow content creator like all of us. And again, I say he is the pioneer of GAC streams for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. I would just want to ask everyone in chat to put Urs in chat. Whether he's watching or not, it doesn't matter. I just want to give a shout out to Urs and everything he did for this community as he kind of goes away. And remember, that's Urs with 3 Z's. So go ahead and get Urs in chat for me, guys, just to start off this stream before we kick off our question and answers, just because it's a big thing in the community. We are a community first. It's a small community, but a tight-knit one. So when we lose a member like Urs, it becomes kind of a big deal. And so it's sad. Things happen, but I'm looking forward to all the new stuff Urs has been doing. If you haven't caught him on Twitch, he does a lot of other games, and you can tell he enjoys those more than he does Galaxy of Heroes right now. So,
yeah.
I'll just we'll move topics here really quick, but anything you guys want to add on that? I know I didn't tell you guys this before.
Can I grab a minute? Does anyone else mind? Because I'd like to say a few things if Gom and Adustra don't mind. Look, Urs. What can we say about Urs? Look, to be honest, I would not be doing this if it wasn't for Urs. We watched his streams. Every person in this chat right now has seen what he does, and he is incredible. He always has been incredible. He will continue to be incredible, just not for Heroes. The Hall's not going anywhere. It is an amazing collective of people. It always has been, and that always will continue to be. But what I do want to say is that he's basically left. He has pioneered what we do. He has basically made this community better. He's not dead. He's still around. This isn't a mourning ceremony. Look, it's not ideal. But again, no content creator wants to be doing something they don't want to do. If they don't have passion for it, A, it shows, and B, they mentally it's not good for their own, for their own well-being. So I'm glad he's made that decision. I'm really glad he didn't delete his mods, so that leaves the door open to come back at some point if he wants to. But one thing I'm going to say is that they're massive shoes to fill for every other creator out there, but we're all better that he did do what he did in the first place. And dude, we're all going to strive to be as good as you were, because dead set, man, you were the yardstick. So thank you, brother.
Here, here.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say it was good. Like, he came out and he made the video, and they talked about it on the Rogue Actions and stuff every week. Like, he basically said, "I'm not having fun, guys. I'm going to quit," and he did it. It wasn't a ploy to get views. It wasn't a ploy to get it's actually he's a very authentic person at the end of the day, right? And it shows. And I'm really looking forward to see how he's going to cover the Squadrons game. Some of these other games he's playing. I'm very interested to see how he's going to put his spin on that. And it's been fun watching him cover some of these other games I've never even played. I'll sit down and see that he's streaming and check it out. Like a game I have no interest in playing, but it is entertaining to see him play. So it's like Heinzie said, the Hall's not dead. The Hall will be there. I mean, it's a community first with Urs, and he deserves all the credit and praise he's getting. So it's good luck to you, man. If you are watching, I'm sure we'll speak again. So thank you for all you've done.
Okay. And maybe a little bit of a plug here. As Joe Maurice mentioned, Urs did a lot of these announcements on his own channel, but also on the Rogue Actions, which he does with Cubs. And just wanted to give a little shout out to Mr. Heinzie over here, who will be joining Cubs on Rogue Actions. So congratulations to Heinzie too on doing that.
Yeah, it's certainly something that I'm not going to lie, I didn't see it coming. I really didn't. There's some amazing people out there that I seriously thought that we're going to be tapped on the shoulder if you did decide to go ahead with it. But we've got a pretty cool dynamic. I do like it. Now, I've been on as a guest for a few times. It's a pretty cool little dynamic that we got. He's pretty straight up and down, and I just joke around a bit. So it's a pretty cool little thing we got going there. But, apparently the Cubs fam certainly was stepped up and said, dude, we need to do something more with what we do, which is amazing. So I'm thrilled. Massive shoes to fill. I'm aware of that. And if, hopefully I'm half as good as what Urs was in the same position, I'll be pretty thrilled. But nervous, excited, wrapped. I was I was giggling like a little girl inside. I'm not going to lie. When he actually asked me officially, it was crazy. But yeah, this only happened a few days ago. It's not something that's been in the plans for a while. It was just, wow, what the hell? Where the hell did that come from? It was just amazing. So anyway, that's it. But hey, we're not here for that. We're here to answer some questions.
Congrats, man. You're going to crush it, dude. Good. You're going to crush it, man. Congratulations.
I just got to pick on his top knot and everyone's a winner. I mean, as long as I pick on his hair, because I got none, it should be fine, really.
And Cubs is starting to grow his out and ponytailing his. So, yeah, all the hair that you don't have, he now has. So. He
asked me to donate some to him. That was part of the arrangement. But I said, dude, it's going to take me a while to grow some, but whatever I got's yours. So that was about it.
All right. So let's go ahead and start around the corn here with just kind of a quick general overview, because we're going to get questions about it. So I'll start off with the Dostra here. Just your quick thoughts on galactic challenges, like a simple grade and maybe a couple of points towards it.
A grade, huh?
Mm-hmm. You can be honest. If it's not on the scale and below an F, you can say And
there's nothing below an F, so
we can make up a letter.
I'd probably say, honestly, I'd probably say a D. I wouldn't go so far as to say an F, because at least it's still something. It's just way, way, way below what any of us were hoping for. Is basically it. The rewards, the event itself. I mean, I had higher expectations. I was excited for it, like, hey, something new. And so my biggest was the rewards. Like, is the rewards going to be worth it? Is it going to help people? And yeah, they definitely, I mean, I know this is all the exhibition and whatnot, so they should make the changes in the future. They're just testing it out to see, we are the beta testers, on a mass scale here, to see what everyone's feedback is. So I'm hoping that they'll increase the rewards to make it more worthwhile for everyone across the board. I'm not just talking about us at the highest end of the game. I'm talking across the board. The rewards were just lackluster for, for the just the newness of it and the event itself. And I will say again, the fact that there's no Jedi option, for the whole scheduled events, that there's no Jedi level, it's also disappointing. So at the same time, I'm not as salty about that anymore after seeing what the event is like. It's like they spared my Jedi the insults of this event, so I'm not quite as butthurt anymore. But,
that is definitely looking on the bright side of things.
Again, it's something, but it's just not what, a lot of people would have wanted, obviously. I mean, and we'll see what, again, hopefully they'll make changes to it to make it more thrilling, but even the event itself was just kind of boring, at least to me, I know it's a different, other people, different parts of the game. Like for me, I was able to auto the final tier. It's like, it should at least be challenging. and it's also just, I thought it was kind of boring. And again, the rewards were just bleh.
Yeah. And I think, good old Maurice, that as Adastra was saying, like some people were able to auto it. It comes off a little strange after we just got the Challenge 3 assault battles, right? And it feels like, at least with the requirement for that feat that really gives the rewards, especially on the tier 7, that this was designed more as a gear gate to provide you rewards just for relicking characters, right? Did you get that same kind of sense here, where they're trying to give you free stuff, but really it's only if you relic and you gear specific factions in the game, and it's not about the difficulty?
Is that to me?
Yes.
Well, yeah, and we had Shattered Order on last Thursday on the show. And the first couple hours, we actually had a productive stream, and then it just turned into a poop show afterwards. It just got into a drunken mess. But the first couple hours, it's something all four of us agreed on, is that it's an event, right? If a grade of a game mode, it's a D. A grade of an event, I give it an A. If it's considered an event, not a game mode. And I think you're right. Like it just slowly trickles in more rewards. To me personally, I do have a more developed roster. I mean, it didn't take me long at all. Like Adaster said, I mean, all you had to do to get 3-star everything was just taking solo Kylo into auto and you got it. So I think it's a little disappointing in terms of maybe the challenge aspect of it. It's gated behind relics, but at the same time, they could have made it gated far worse, right? Like they could have put significant rewards behind Relic 5 characters. Instead, there's really, from a CG standpoint, there's really not a monetization aspect to this, which is shocking to me, right? Like there's not yet anyway. Like, I mean, do you really want to take, a Gear 13 character all the way up to Relic 5 for 5 Gear 12 plus finishers? Like there's not, I don't feel like there's really the motivation to spend any money for this, which is good, for the masses, I think. It's just revamped assault battles to me is what it is. The 7 days, I know a lot of people think that's laughable, and it is. But we do. But at the same time, a big gripe from the community was we don't have anywhere to test anything. And this, as right now, in terms of PvE, I think this is, if it is open for 7 days, at least you have something to take in a team and see if it's got some juice behind it, right? Like the speeds of these characters aren't absurd like the tier 2 and tier 3 of the assault battles. Like you could actually get in there and see how a team you built could function, and if it's got a leg to stand on. Again, I'm being optimistic because I don't know. I feel kind of the need to try to be optimistic about it, but game mode D or F event, I give it an A for an event. So,
okay. And I think that's fair, and I think you make a good point about the 7-day thing, and something for everyone to keep in mind, right, is that they are varying the length of the event being available, the Galactic Challenge, in order to specifically test this, right? They have it 7 days, they have ones later on that are going to be shorter, and we're trying to test it out. Maybe, I think we have 2 7-day ones planned, so maybe after the feedback from this one, they'll realize we don't need the second 7 days, 7 days too long. But I think Heinze, Good Old Maurice mentioned something that I think is important too, is that we're seeing the length of this, right? But part of what they were hoping for was replayability, right? And what did you think of the replayability of this Galactic Challenge? Even whatever it is, 7 days, 3 days, 1 day, whatever it is, right? What could they do in order to improve the replayability of the Galactic Challenges for you? Even whatever it is.
Oh, okay. All right. So when it comes to this event has potential. I really do believe it has a lot of potential. It's certainly not ideal at the moment, but one thing that we have to remember, guys, is that A, yes, it's new content, but B, it's an exhibition. It's not, this is what we're going to get day in, day out. And I think that's been a little bit overshadowed. I think exactly right. It's been mentioned with beta testers. I do believe that things will certainly improve one way or another. There's a lot of feedback coming through all over the place that we know that, the rewards are trash. People are autoing it. We know all that, but they need to test it somewhere because, at the end of the day, we are, as you said, we're beta testers. It's as simple as that, whether you like it or not. They don't know if there's a problem unless we test it and complain about it. It's pretty simple. And that's, unfortunately, you have a player base out there that's very vocal in when there is a problem that they're going to let people know about it. And again, that's certainly not ideal, but it's probably the most effective way to fix problems within the game for us. And I'm not saying that's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm just saying that it's just a fact. In regard to replayability, I don't think that that's true. And I mean, and I've heard a lot of people say that this is close to a sandbox mode as we're going to get. It isn't a sandbox mode because there's characters in these waves and phases that we don't actually physically have access to. And that's certainly something that in this particular one, I'm not saying they're all going to be like that, but you got sniper droids in there that we don't even have. And we might be getting them one day or not, who knows? But you can't really do a sandbox mode and you can't go head to head against these characters and test them with characters that you don't even have access to yet. And that to me, I find a bigger issue. But whether that's just in this one particular series or not, as far as the one that we're doing not or whatever else, I think that it could be better. But I expected more cutscenes. I'm not going to lie. I mean, we've been speaking up this Unity upgrade for a while now, and we've been saying that we're going to get this whiz bang set up, and we're going to be getting certainly cutscenes, and we're going to be getting better graphics, and we're going to be getting better polygons and everything else that we've been sold. It's the same as what we've got.
Oh, that's so true. They've been doing so that like the Jedi Luke event. They've
been doing so well.
They could have had fun with that. I didn't even think about that.
They've been doing so well. The Jedi Luke event was great. The cutscenes were amazing, and that was pre-Unity. We now know, but they've been doing well. They did Vader great. They did Luke great. They've done so many things great, and now I feel we've taken a slight step back.
And thank you for saying it's not a sandbox. I've been seeing people say this is a sandbox. I'm like, do you guys not realize what sandbox means?
It's not. And
it's not a sandbox mode.
But we're not going to get it.
Forever sad. We're not getting
it, right? They can't afford it, so we're not getting it. So it's fine. But yeah, at the end of the day, anyway, I've said my piece with that. But yeah, I think it has a lot of potential. Don't get me wrong. They're going to fix the rewards. I think everyone knows that. I mean, they're just trash. There's better ones in Galactic Challenges, in the assault battles, sorry. So they're certainly going to improve it. But a lot of work to do, but has potential and needs to be addressed and fixed.
But we talked about it on the What a Whale Wants segment the other night that RSG did. They put themselves in a terrible lose-lose situation with week 2 being the much anticipated Death Star, right? Like they put themselves, everyone's going to be expecting so much from that. And if this is what they plan to do with the Death Star, people are going to be really disappointed.
For sure. Like there was all this hype when they showed, these images. And, I think the player base came up with cooler ideas than what we actually ended up with.
True, but the question that I've had brought up as well, and again, I'll address this at another time, but they brought the Death Star up, but they didn't bring the Death Star up. We did with data mines. We got it in our head that we expected this.
That's a good. Yeah.
Well, I'll push back. Every single promotional video that they showed after, including the road ahead, always showed the Death Star particular galactic challenge.
True.
So they promoted it too.
Yeah, but they never showed that it was.
They knew already how everyone was feeling with that. So then they took advantage of it and showing.
Yeah. I mean, I've mentioned this before, how we haven't got a Death Star raid in this game after 5 years still it bemuses me. It really does. That's a whole different conversation.
Well, don't get me started again on the lack of a raid in 2+ years.
Sorry, Adastra. I didn't mean to yank your crank there. It's not my style. But at the end of the day, we could go on for hours about that. But it's got potential if they tweak it. And there's room to move with that. And I think as long as they listen and make those little changes.
First iteration. So as long as they listen to feedback.
Got to start somewhere. Galactic, Gran Arena was trash at the start. I mean, it really was. That's what we have to remember. That was terrible. And then they brought out the championships, and that's just a complete iteration, a turnaround on what, that was originally. There was so much better. So there's, it has been improved before. If we get that same sort of turnaround that we had on GAC from the original Grand Arena, we'd be in a good position there. I'm not down on it and it's like, this is it. That's it. We're stuffed. It's an exhibition, guys. Don't look into it too much.
Exactly. They will, they have a bunch of these and, planned, of course. The rewards, they really, really, really need to work on that. That's a given.
They suck.
Then,
I think good old Maurice actually I think you framed it up well, right? It's the expectation, I think, is part of what led to this. One, CG had done so well with a lot of the stuff that we just had, right? But two, we were also expecting a new game mode. And I think your 2 grades actually makes a lot of sense, which is players were expecting a new game mode. This is not that. This really is like another kind of recurring event to give players some kind of additional gear, loot, whatever you want to call it, right? And it really is kind of a upscaled assault battles. The rewards need to be changed, of course, but it's kind of that general layout where it's just another assault battle, and it's good. It has potential, like Heinze said, but it may not have been what players really wanted or were hoping for, right? And that's maybe where some of this issue was coming in, where they were hoping for a raid or maybe like mini raids within these galactic challenges, and we just got assault battles, which isn't bad. It's just not new or fresh, I think, is what people were hoping for.
Oh, you're absolutely right. Like when this was announced, we had all these ideas of what it could have ended up as, and good old Murray's pretty much said it. This is assault, just another version of assault battles. It's more fair because you can actually complete the event.
Yeah.
But it's nothing. Like they were working on this for months, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's also added to the expectations. Like, oh, they got something cool in the works because they gave up on the raid. Because they flat out said that they stopped the raid. And so I was thinking of all these ideas of how they could have linked from what they had started on, that they wouldn't just throw away whatever progress they had, that they could have somehow linked, that's where then we had the personal raid idea came up, and then like just we fantasize about all these different things.
We're not fantasizing. We're giving them ideas that they don't listen to.
Fair enough. But yeah, so that definitely added to it. We all had just better ideas, and this is what we got.
I mean, it could be.
There's a fine line, guys. Though I will preach a little caution. Like you want more rewards. But if you start gating very in-game stuff behind these Relic 5s, like you're going to break a lot of the free-to-play and the casual and the mid-game players back. Like if you put some
should
super
scale appropriately. It's
a little more. I totally agree. But like you start putting like new mod salvage, you start putting a character like a ship. If you do really, then there's like this monetization aspect that just people are already falling behind. There's a huge gap between people with GLs and people that don't have GL. Like you can't put something too crazy behind it. So
that's what I was gonna say. Good on free to play have already started to get broken with with Galactic Legends. Galactic Legends have changed a lot for this game, especially for free to play.
Don't they have people employed for game balance?
I mean, they're supposed to.
I rest my case.
You got some jokes?
We know they have people. We also joined here really quick by Mr. Rambam. How are you doing, Rambam?
What's going on? How are you guys doing?
Pretty good. So we're just discussing Galactic Legends and our initial thoughts. And keep those questions coming, guys. I have them all queued up, so we're about to jump right into those. But what are your initial thoughts of Galactic Legends? Or Galactic Challenges. What am I saying? Okay, yeah, Galactic Challenges.
Yeah, I was going to ask you. You talking about Potato Ray?
No, no, Galactic Challenges.
So I'm reserving my thoughts for when the exhibition phase is over because, I mean, like Heinz said, like so many of others have said, this is the exhibition phase. If we go back to the history of it all, when Grand Arena was released, it was garbage. It wasn't fun. It was like another arena battle. That's all it really was. It didn't really get its final form until they revamped it and brought out Grand Arena Championships and buffed up the rewards and whatnot. And so I feel like this is the same way. They had to do something to test it with the community. They're not going to invest millions of dollars into a new game mode that the player base is going to reject. So the easy way to do it is to bring out a assault battle style week-long thing that you can play around with the rewards, you can play around with the time limits, you can play around with the difficulty, all that other stuff. And then if the player base is like, hey, fix this stuff and we will like it, then they can invest more money into it and make it a lot better. And so like people saying it's garbage, yes, it is garbage, but this is not its final form, I don't think. Now, if they don't change anything and they keep it as it is, then yes, it's garbage. Absolutely garbage. But if they take the feedback, which I don't know if you guys saw, but on the forums, Kino, the moderator for the forums, actually posted and said that they are taking that feedback and they are changing some things on it. I think they was adjusting awards and whatnot. And they've already said that they're changing time limits, so it's not a week-long thing. Hopefully they add the daily rewards to it as well. And I would like to see like a feat to get a full piece of gear or a Zeta or something for completing all the feats, through tiers 1 through 7. I don't know. There's things that they can do. It's on the right path. It's good. It's just not amazing, and that's the problem with the community is I think we hyped it up and we sat there and said, you know what, this is going to be an amazing game mode. And I think we were expecting kind of like Grand Arena Championship style, we love this game mode right off the bat. And it's just that's not how the way things work. You have to gauge interest. You have to balance it. You have to try to figure out which works, what doesn't work. If it's too overpowered, if it's too underpowered, are the rewards beneficial to it? Obviously it's not. Tier 7 should not be giving Mark 1 stun guns. I can't make an argument for that, but it's something, and it's a step in the right direction, which I think we can agree over the last couple months or so, CG has been taking several steps in the right direction finally after how many years?
Yeah. No, you're right. And I think you make a good point too. A lot of times when things are good, right, you look back on things with the rose-colored glasses and you may have forgotten what GA was just Grand Arena during the exhibition phase when you think about what GAC is now. And yeah, you make a good point that like you might be thinking, oh, it's a new game mode and you might fall in love with it just like you did GAC, but GAC wasn't GAC to start, right? It was something else that needed a lot of fine-tuning and then became what it is. So there is, I think like everyone here is saying, there's a lot of potential with this event. It depends on how CG enacts a lot of the feedback that we're giving them, and hopefully they do a lot of that, and we'll see. So we have a lot of questions starting to come in, so let's go ahead and get started with those. And Heinzie, we'll start off with you here. So
yes, sir.
First question to you is from Scowist. And Scowist says, is it better to build a few key characters to Relic 7 or focus on bringing a larger number of characters to Relic 4? And which characters are must-have for Relic 6 or Relic 7?
Okay, before we start, man, we've got 94 people watching and about 19 thumbs up. That's not good enough. That's disgusting, guys. Come on, hit the thumbs up, please. Give the boys here some love. Let's start with that. Righto. Relic 7 is a real resource drain. Personally, if you're obviously looking at building into the relics and getting them up, 4 to 5 is certainly at a good standard of strength and survivability and damage. I'd probably be trying to focus on, as always, you should always focus on your arena lineup. That's a standard because arena obviously gives you better rewards the higher you finish. So whoever your arena is, I'd focus on getting those at a reasonable relic level first. And then basically from there building to other very progressive characters. And there's so many videos and resources out there on which factions and lineups are good and which ones aren't as good. I'm not saying they're not good, but just not as good. We know, top of the tree, Galactic Legends are insane. Gas is fantastic, 501st. Darth Revan is mental still. Jedi Knight Revan is incredible in so many different facets. Really good plug and play. Vader's great now and he's reasonably free to play, for an Empire lineup. That works really well. Getting those guys to a relic level, if you're in what I would call a mid-tier GP, which is I assume what we're talking about from this question, I'd be certainly looking at, relicking up a lineup for a particular faction so that they're all pretty powerful and they're just going to be really hard to beat.
There you go. Okay, next question here. We will go to Rambam. The Rambam question to you from What Else 73, and the question is Galactic Challenges. Is it weird that I 3-starred the tier 7, but for the life of me can't get better than a 2-star on the tier 6? Did you notice any kind of difficulty or change between tier 6 and tier 7?
I didn't personally, but then again, I also have Supreme Leader Kylo, so I just kind of went in and did the whole Supreme Leader Kylo thing. And my Sith are actually built up easily. I'm missing one Relic 5 to do the Sith tier 7 feat, but my Sith are all pretty geared out. I've got Malak at Relic 7. I've got Vader at Relic 7. So I mean, it was pretty easy for me to do it. But I mean, I feel like that's kind of weird. Tier 6 should be. I feel like tier 6 was a little bit easier than tier 7.
Did any of you guys, anyone else on the panel have that? My Sith are lower, but 7 definitely felt harder than 6 when I went through it. But
it's brutal. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously, if you've got them all maxed out, which obviously Adustra has, as we mentioned, with her roster, I'm not surprised she could auto it. Let's be fair. Everything is pretty maxed at that level. And I mean that with the greatest respect. Her roster's insane. But at the end of the day, certainly 6 to 7, it can be pretty brutal for those that are on the precipice of not having everyone highly relicked. They come out and they just one shot and rip you a new one. I'd love to have those characters that on the enemy side in my roster. I'm not going to lie. Some of the damage.
Oh, I agree. You would be, I don't have maxed out Sith. Thank you very much.
I know.
You made her get very defensive on that one.
You're insane. I didn't mean to term you as a Sith lover. Let's not.
She's called Jedi Master, you muppet.
That's her. That's how she hides her Sith identity. It's okay.
I know. She's
I saw it. Yeah, because I tried different teams for the fun of it. I'm just like, good lord, they're just like, once they get going, because you basically have to control that sniper droid. Yeah. He's pretty much the public enemy number 1 there.
Yeah,
he is. He's nasty.
And why can't we get that character yet? Gosh.
Maybe we
could
will.
Be one day.
We will.
That'd be cool.
He would be pretty cool. All right, let's go to the next question here to good old Maurice. So, good old Maurice, question to you from Zachary Parlay. And the question is, Fleet Arena has been stale for a while. What do you think CG will do to mix things up?
Probably not much.
Okay, what do you want them to do? Let's do that too, because will and want are two different things, right? So I'll ask you both. What do you think they're going to do, and what would you want them to do?
What will I think they do? Probably not much. What do I want them to do? Is kind of introduce like the finalizer and the Radis. For those of you guys that have a completed one, you can see the potential of these capital ships. They're just missing a ship or two. So I would like for that. I personally would like for them to complete those feats. So it's not just Malevolence or the Negotiator. Like it'd be cool to have a mix of all 4 of the capital ships, because those new capital ships came into the game, and unlike anything that's ever come before this, like the new stuff doesn't affect any meta. Like it just, here they are, have fun, in PvE with these ships. Like they have no impact on the PvP aspect of the game. So I'd like to see those 2 fleets finished. But the TIE bomber. You've got the rebel tank now. You've got these ships that are farmable. Maybe it will add some life back to to the older fleets. And they have mentioned we're getting a second fleet in Grand Arena, which I'm personally kind of excited about. From somebody that has pretty developed rebels, I think that will add, because right now everybody's Grand Arena. All of you guys stream your Grand Arenas. Like you the ship's a given. It's you get 61 or you get 65. Like it's. How good am I going to do on fleet? Like I've very, very rarely seen anyone that streams lose to a fleet battle, because it is very stale. We're so used to facing one of the 2 teams that we encounter, like it's just automatic, and it shouldn't be like that. There's just, I don't know, it's just lack of ships, I don't know. It's pretty. I agree with the question. It's very stale. I hate fleet. Like I reluctantly. There's some days I don't even care. Like I just do my one fleet battle. It's like, I can't do this 4 more times a day. I've been doing it for 2 years. Like it's just, I don't know. Ships has always been very underwhelming to me.
Me and Ranger and Finn are sitting here like you're looking at 3 people that have lost on fleets constantly on GAC.
Oops, my bad.
God, fleets are horrible. Pain in my existence.
My bad.
No. I mean, it depends on where you are too, right? So, like the reason I lose, and it's I mean, people have seen it. It's not too difficult. People focus on Negotiator because that's their fleet arena, right? And the one that I save is my Malevolence. But some of my ships are not like completely maxed out, and I mean, some of them are pilotless, so it becomes easier. But my Malevolence may not be at the same par as a Negotiator, and I've had to learn how to use it. I have really not cared about ships enough that I've been kind of learning how to use the Malevolence as part of GAC, and so it's been the reason that I lose just because my Malevolence team is not quite up to par with some of the Negotiator teams. But that's with anything, right? If you're not all the way at the top and everyone is not on the same level with every single ship that you have, then the discrepancy in kind of gear or ship level will always contribute to that to some extent.
Yeah, and maybe that wasn't the best question for me because I mean I'm speaking from somebody with like a 7 million account. Like I have both of the fleets pretty well developed. So yeah, I'd like to backtrack a little bit. Yeah, that's a good. Thank you for bringing it back down.
No, don't backtrack. Don't backtrack. Grim in chat's hilarious. Is going. Dom's just sitting there saying, "Get good, son. Come on, get better."
You're right. Yeah. You're right, though. Everyone should have the ability to beat Fleet with one. You're not wrong. It's just some people don't.
No, to be fair, it's all right. I had a mirror Malevolence drop. It just bad RNG and things didn't go the way I wanted actually a couple of rounds ago. It can happen, certainly. With that being said, though, I think as Gom said, Radisson and Finalizer. They're missing a tank, and they even. CG mentioned that when they released the damn ship that we need a tank. They even said that at the time for Radis specifically. They would be really, really brutal if they had that tank in there, just take those hits early on and get the whole day maneuver out. It's pretty simple. With that being said, I actually took out a fully fledged, full OP Malevolence with a Radis fleet in TW a few days ago. It's possible. It can be done.
Yeah.
But it's just real RNG, real heavy, but they should be more solid.
And that's what I wanted to bring up too. Like the having two fleets in ships for the bloated accounts for the 7+, that do it, sure. I think Division 1 should be split up into another division where people that have 6.5 plus or something like that should be their own division, because it's honestly it's insane up at that point. If they put two fleets, like for me, and I'm at 6.5. If they put two fleets down for me, 9 times out of 10 people are probably going to put Negotiator and Malevolence down, because a lot of people in my area have double GLs, which means they have a good Radis and a Finalizer fleet. I know my Finalizer fleet, because I have Kylo, my Finalizer fleet is great. I can take out a Negotiator. I struggle against Malevolence, but I can kind of sort of pull out a Ren. That's more RNG related. My Radis sucks. My hold up, so if someone put a Negotiator Malevolence down and I didn't have those because I put my own on defense or something like that, I'd be screwed. I would lose. I wouldn't even full clear at that point.
Yeah, can we at least please try maybe scaling up the characters first before we start messing with ships, since there's so many fewer ships than there's characters, and you don't even scale up characters? Like, why the hell would you scale up ships first? We have 20 times the number of characters that like teams that we can field instead of ships. And you're just gonna boost ships for the hell of it? Like, seriously, dude, at least test it.
I'd rather have more characters on the field. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, but when they release those capital ships, they should have just released the tanks at the same time with them. I mean, at least then it gives you the viability that at the moment a lot of people have invested in these ships that really are substandard. I'm one of them. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sit here and sook about it. I went hard on Radis. That was my decision and my choice, and I'll stick to it. I did it at the time, but. If the tank had been released at the same time, a resistance, Y-wing or whatever it is, whatever you want to call it, some sort of a tank bomber, I certainly would have been more comfortable with that, because then the investment that I put in then certainly was justified, because at the moment I can't even use it. I can use it, but I'm not guaranteed it's going to be of any use, and that's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. No, it's true. And again, I think it's pretty well figured out that Fleet may be kind of the ignored game mode by CG to some extent, and we'll see if they do anything, but hopefully they do something with this. So
anyway,
next up,
over. I'm done.
It's all good. Hey, it was part of the question, right? We're talking about improving ships. I think that's ultimately what everyone wants, is some improvement to ship, and we always have discussions about what it is. So,
let's do ships before Mace. That's more important anyway.
Mace is already gone.
Please, for the love of God, fix Mace's ship.
Why? What's the point? Everyone's
I will stand up on my tippy toes supporting Mace. I have the first Relic 7 Mace in all of Galaxy Heroes. I will stand up and love Mace Windu.
They
I can't justify his ship.
Ram Bam.
Then preach it.
I can't justify his ship. His ship.
Even then, even if they fix the endurance, right, they're still going to go to the negotiator. All your Galactic Republic other ships have left you. So
they need more Galactic Republic ships for sure. For sure.
More ships, exactly.
I know, just a whole new set of Galactic Republic. All right.
I did a endurance. I went up against an opponent. I know we're getting off track. I went up against an opponent that knew my status of the Relic 7 Mace Windu. So he nicely left a surprise in his fleets and put an entire endurance fleet down for me. And I was like, I have malevolence, but I have to do a endurance mirror match. And I had conveniently put my negotiator down, so I didn't have a full Galactic Republic fleet, and I ended up losing just badly because I had to do my theme on my channel is Mace Windu. I had to.
Is it really?
Yeah. No, right? You didn't know that. I mean, it's like your theme is preloading, you know?
Something new to me, man. I think I'm about to preload that Mace, but anyway.
Yeah, but I ended up losing that endurance fleet. Is just
man. I need to watch one of your streams. I mean, this is awesome. Really,
you're just gonna watch him lose.
Oh, it's not awesome that you lost.
No. See, I get 3 kills with Mace. I'm just saying. I know how to use Mace. Heinze does not.
Yeah, Heinze denies the kills for Mace.
I've done Mace lead and I've gotten kills with Mace lead. I mean, Mace lead is good.
Can't believe we're going to use him still. Just can't believe it.
All right, next question here. Next question, Adastra. So Adastra, this is kind of, they're 2 different questions, but they're related, so I'll give you both of them. One of them is from What Else 73 and says, when is the Jedi Knight Luke event coming back? Sooner than soon, I hope. And then Briarius Aegon asks, what gear level do you suggest Wedge to be for the Jedi Luke event?
Well, it's supposed to come back in September. You know, that's, you know, if it follows the track or the time frame. I mean, it's
there was a data mine too that came out about it.
So I would be as prepared as possible for that. What's that?
There was a data mine that came out about it too. Sig posted about it in what was it? SWGOH events server. It's apparently going to the journey guide soon, temporarily.
They found in the data mine, just FYI if you didn't see it, Adastra, they found in the data mine a picture titled Jedi Luke with a JG in the title, which is what they give for the journey guide. So it looks like, and this doesn't mean that it's coming back, right? It was one of the weird things. Jedi Luke is the only event not in the journey guide. Like, even Malik is there, even though he may not always be there. Gas is there, even though he may not always be there. But Jedi Luke, they forgot to put in the journey guide, so at least people could see what the prereqs are and the characters and stuff. So that's what I think this is referencing, but it's probably going to tie into the return. But it came with the latest update. So I mean, your September is probably still right because it's just a couple weeks away. But just so you know, they did have the data mine with the image at.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that means if it follows the line, yeah, it's supposed to be sometime in September. So I would still plan for that. Just to, you know, if you're working towards it, continue to do your best to focus on it and get as prepared as possible. You know, and then you have, so you won't be blindsided by it. You know, if they come sooner, and then if it's delayed a little bit, then great, gives you more time to prepare. And then as for Wedge, yeah, you don't even have to. He asked about Wedge or Biggs.
Wedge.
What was the other one?
Wedge.
Yeah, for the ship, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't need to relic him at all. Some people, like, for whatever reason, thought you had to have a relic Wedge for this.
Yeah.
Nope.
I did mine at Gear 11.
It's his ship. You only care about the ship, not the character. So, like, people saw relic, you know, you have to have relic 3 of this. So they just kind of lumped him in there. And it's like, no. And then people completed it with Gear 11, with the Gear 12. So it's just his ship. You just have to survive. So it's one less character you have to put resources in.
And it's really not that hard. Like, it's kind of sort of RNG related, but it's that phase of the event was actually not all that difficult. And I had a Gear 11 Wedge, so.
Yeah. Okay. Back up to the top.
Yep.
Oh, go ahead. You can go ahead, Astra. Did you have something else to add?
Oh no, I was just agreeing with you basically.
Oh, okay. All right. We'll go back up to the top here.
Carry on.
All right. So back up to the top to Heinze. And
Yes, sir.
so Heinze, question from Briarius Aegon.
Hey, how are you, Aegon?
So Briarius is asking, when you think that they may have canceled a raid in order to release Galactic Challenges, don't you think that Galactic Challenges should receive an F?
Yes. When you compare the two, absolutely, because we should have had a new raid by now. It's been way too long. That's a whole different conversation, Finn, that, dude, we could go on for hours about, let's be honest. Why they dropped a lot of things that the community want. Sales 101, give the people what they want, brother. Let's be honest. And, we didn't ask for Galactic Challenges. We've been asking for a raid for some time now, or something along those lines that, obviously is, a little bit more. We've got our PvP component that works great with GAC. We've got our PvE content as well. Galactic Challenges at the moment at this stage isn't ticking the box for fulfilling that. But I still believe some of the best fun I've had in this game is clearing the Sith Triumvirate raid for the first time with my guildmates. That was so much fun. I got a massive kick out of that. The unity that we had was magnificent when we cleared it. The celebrations we had were insane as well. I'm not going to lie, it was insane. There were people actually physically that had never met each other that met up in a pub and stuff to celebrate down in Australia when they cleared that particular raid for the first time, just to give you an idea. So I think that,
That's awesome. Oh my God.
It was great. They sent me photos and stuff in my community. They said, dude, we're here, haven't met each other, but we cleared it all together, and they got up and celebrated. It was great. So I still believe that, raids are still an integral part of our game, and I think that we're way overdue for another one.
I have a question because I wasn't playing it this time, so I don't know what was the cadence between the pit raid, the tank raid, and the Sith Triumvirate raid. Like, what was the time frame in between those raids being released? Because I started playing right around CLS getting released, so I'm actually kind of, I guess newer than most players.
I can look up the dates, but I think it was somewhere around like 6 to 8 months, I think, between Rancor and AAT, and then about a year or so between AAT and Sith, something around there.
Yeah, it was around that mark. They were very close. They weren't like side by side, but they were a reasonable difference apart, but they were pretty close. There's been a massive gap between the Sith raid and now, which is
it was about a year-ish, with when they did the Sith raid after the tank raid. And they kind of rushed it initially too, because there was that demand that it was approaching a year, and they had their target dates of, we got it, this raid in the works, guys, this raid in the works, and they kind of released it prematurely, and it's been bugged pretty much forever since its release. There was a lot of issues with it, but yeah, it was like a year-ish. So that's where this being over 2 years now is a very long time for a game, an expected part of the game. For it to be that long since a new iteration, a new raid that we are. And I'm not going to go on a tangent here, but yes, we are long overdue for a raid.
I'm just saying we should get a Jedi themed raid. Just throwing that out there.
So I'm gonna maybe,
as long as Mace doesn't participate in it because he sucks.
Mace will be a required character that gets bonuses.
We all get to watch as Heinze has to relic Mace.
Adastra, I know you're excited, Adastra, about the data mines for the GAC feats next month.
Oh yes, I absolutely am.
I knew you would like it.
On the stream last night when I asked about it, someone in the Jedi server tagged me with the feats. So I am very thrilled. I've been waiting forever for a Jedi themed Grand Arena or feats and whatnot. So very excited.
I want a new Mace Windu portrait. I don't think we'll get one though.
Oh, give me a spell, dude. Seriously.
I want to ask maybe a question about this, right? And I think that the raid angle of this brings on an interesting perspective, right? And we know what a beta is supposed to be, right? A beta is supposed to test out something that they're releasing. And largely this is testing out not only galactic challenges, right, but also this whole Unity 2 update and seeing how they're going to test out. So, I don't know what you guys think. This was one thought that I had, and now that this question's up here, I'll kind of pose it to you guys. What do you think about the possibility that Galactic Challenges, not only being just kind of this event, right, and CG knowing that players wanted a game mode, what if Galactic Challenges is intended to test out these new buffs that you get for the planet, that you get for the players, that you get for the enemies, right, as part of the feedback, because those are going to be some of the components in the phases for the new raid that is coming out. And they couldn't have us test out the raid, right? That would spoil the surprise. But if they're testing out that concept, right, that's really the only new concept they've added to Galactic Challenges, right? Everything else is kind of a rehash. The only thing new were those buffs. The environmental buffs, player buffs, enemy buffs. We're going to see a whole range of them as we go through the Galactic Challenges. Could that be one of the key things to this new raid that they're bringing, where you have different phases, but there's also different buffs and associated with the environment. There's different buffs associated with the players, enemies, like that. So, I mean, I'll ask good old Maurice. Good old Maurice, what do you think? Like, do you think that's possible that Galactic Challenges in some way is designed to test out some of these for a raid, and a raid is still hopefully along the coming soon, maybe?
Well, I think that's a pretty optimistic view. But you're right. I mean, this is a way to test out some new stuff, the new mechanics, see how things operate. Maybe some of these feats that were the modifiers we're seeing, I mean, could eventually turn into, components of the new raid, perhaps. Like, remember the TWs with the stupid bonuses? Like, a lot of those bonuses, I almost feel like those bonuses became the reworks, became the kits, because like the bugs had these super feats, the clones had the like supercharged powers, and a lot of those, well, they weren't the same thing. Some of the components came into the game as actual reworks. So that's a good thought. I'd like to think so. In terms of graphically and performance wise, I was expecting a little more. I don't know about you guys, but I'm still having like disconnect issues in random, contact customer supports, restart screens pop up. I don't know. I'd like to see that. These are, I guess, if something were to go wrong, it's much better in these Galactic Challenges with the measly rewards than a raid environment where people really have invested tons of resources in the characters for raid teams and stuff. So, I like it. I like the idea of it. Yeah.
And I think it should be used to me. Go ahead, Adastra.
I was gonna say I didn't even think about that. I like the optimism too. Because I really want a new raid. I honestly thought it would be connected to Grand Arena, because I remember in their Q&As, people have been asking them different ways to freshen up Grand Arena stuff. They have set rotation. There was that idea of doing a different. You have the 3v3 and the 5v5. Someone was mentioning like 4v4, and I think then someone mentioned, like doing these bonuses, but in a more controlled manner, not the crazy TW bonuses. So I kind of saw this as a attempt for that, to see like how are these bonuses received in this environment, and could this be something that could be transferred to a special Grand Arena, one of the Grand Arenas, to do these bonuses of some sort.
Yep, and I am.
But I'd much rather have a raid.
Yes. And if nothing else, I think everyone knows here I am probably overly optimistic and take the title of CG Finity very seriously.
But I just know how much they focus on Grand Arena. Grand Arena has been their thing, and it hasn't really been changed lately. Other than we'll eventually get 2 fleets in our zone. So I could kind of see them maybe thinking about doing one of these special Grand Arenas just to kind of test it out as part of the continue to freshen things up, so to speak.
Yep. Okay.
I wish they would do a Grand Arena without ships.
Should do one without maze.
What do you mean? They do Grand Arena without ships.
We haven't had one. When's the last time we had one? We haven't had one this year, I don't think, right?
No, we
I
have.
don't know if we're going to go back to that one. Unfortunately, that was my favorite one too.
But don't they rotate it, right? Don't they do 5v5, 3v3, then 5v5 with ships, then 3v3 with ships? I thought
they do rotate the 5v5 and 3v3, but to my knowledge, this year has been nothing but, and we're 8 months in, this year has been nothing but with ships. I think last year was the last time we had any just character ones, whether it was 3v3 or 5v5.
I do know the last 4 we had. I know this for a fact. Is 5 with ships, 3s with ships, 5s with ships, 3s with ships.
Oh, that's gross. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
we are overdue for a new ships one.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, I wasn't even thinking about that. So
yeah, I mean, because the strategy on having ships or without having ships is just it combines a lot more strategy on what you can place in the back. Yeah, it is.
It also makes no sense that for some reason by adding ships you need one less character team. Like why you go from 8 to 7 with ships makes no sense. It should be 8 characters
so
and then
stupid.
8 characters with ships. Like just okay. Anyways,
Finn's ranting, people.
GAC character
original
team.
question. Where did we go?
I know.
CG Infinity, we broke him. Here it comes.
Yeah, he's not happy. The ramp pit's open. Finn's on fire.
All right. Here's a question for Rambam here from Wolffell. He says, do you believe that CG could have the better rewards already finalized and just sandbag them to pretend like they listen to the community? They can say one thing and then just change their mind.
Good question. I feel like it's not out of their realm. All right. I feel like they could do that. It's entirely possible. But then again, given CG's past, have they ever really thought that far out in advance about things like this? I think, and I want to give CG the benefit of the doubt so much, but I feel like CG genuinely thought that the rewards were good enough. You're getting 4 or 5 chirotechs. That's good enough for us. And you can get that once per event, not once per day, once per event. That's good enough. Mark 1 stun guns on tier 7. Yeah, well, you don't have enough of that. I feel like CG just kind of thought that these were good, and then they didn't realize that the community is actually desperately in need of anything gear, because there's just not enough places to get certain pieces of gear, whether it's eyeballs, stun guns, stun cuffs, kairos, anything. So it's entirely possible, but I think they just messed up on the rewards.
I think they sandbagged. I don't know what everyone else thinks. I 100% think they sandbagged, and it was smart on their part.
It is smart. If that's what they did, it is smart. It's just
because I mean, can you imagine if they gave too much and people were like, "Wow, these rewards are crazy. We probably need to tone it down," and how people would get upset they get if you like pulled something away, right? It's the general concept of never pulling something away from a player. It's giving them extra, and this would be a good PR move on their side, which is this one the rewards are crappy. Now we're giving you more rewards. They may have had it planned. Right, so it may be a little bit cynical, but that would be the smart way to go about it. Keep expectations low, then you boost them up and say, "Yeah, we did exactly what you said. You wanted more rewards. Here they are," and you just leave it.
It would be a great PR move, and let's face it, they need a good PR move. They've been on the right track last couple of months, but the start of this year they had just some of the worst PR that they could have ever had. So, I mean, a good PR move would be good for them.
Oh, my bad. I think the easiest way to fix it would be if they're going through these testings. We got a week long, 2 day long, 2 day long, 1 day long, 1 day long. I think that they could leave the rewards as is if these events are indeed end up being every day, every other day, because then you're collecting 4 or 5 chirotechs every other day, and I think that alone would kind of fix the problem. Like a week, like 5 chirotechs for a week long event is pretty ridiculous. If we're getting them every day, then I don't have as much gripe about the rewards. So I don't know.
Okay.
5 card attacks a day. I can get on board with that. So,
Yeah.
But
There you go. Let's see. Next one is for good old Maurice. So, good old Maurice, question to you from the Sedge. And his question is, what's the best lineup to beat Negotiator in a mirror match or with Rebels?
ooh, well, actually, one of the very, very, very few videos I ever did was, in fact, a mirror match video. And it's been so long since I've done it, I forgot. But it's I'm trying to think what I used. I used Houndstooth, Fives, and Anakin, I think. And what you want to do is you basically want to take your Fives and you want to attack the opposing, like your Fives will go first. So you attack the opposing Anakin. That way Anakin will he'll get a turn because Fives gives turn meter, and Anakin will waste his AoE move, and hopefully you fade that buff immunity on your Houndstooth, right? And then your Houndstooth will go next because Anakin has hit the other 2 ships, feeding Houndstooth turn meter, and then you can kind of just go from there. Then your Houndstooth will go before your Anakin, hopefully. You get the taunt up, and because Fives has his taunt up now, the opposing Houndstooth, this is super confusing. The opposing Houndstooth will be taunting, and when Houndstooth is taunting, it loses that massive tenacity boost. That's why you want the opposing Anakin to waste his first, and then you get to use your Anakin's buff immunity on the opposing Houndstooth. This is basically you just try to clock your Anakin to go last by using the turn meter manipulation, and then you can get your buff immunity on Houndstooth. I like Plo Koon first all the time out of reinforcements. And you bring him in not to use the taunt move, but to fuel the turn meter. And so you can just you basically want to eliminate the opposing Houndstooth as quickly as possible.
And you clear those buzz droids.
Oh, is this? Oh, I'm sorry. Did he say it was?
No, he said Negotiator.
I thought this was against Malevolence.
No, Negotiator. Negotiator, mirror match, or Negotiator versus your Rebels.
Got it.
Yeah, but basically,
if you have Buzz Droids as a Negotiator, congrats to you.
I'll try to find that video while I sit here for the next question and post it. But yeah, basically, I mean, that was a terrible explanation. I was all over the place. But basically, you want the opposing Anakin and Houndstooth to go first by using turn meter manipulation, and then that way, when you get your turn from your Houndstooth and Anakin, it's a much more effective turn than your opponent. I'll try to find that video and I'll post it in the chat. Who asked that? The Sedge?
The Sedge, yep.
Yeah, I'll post that in just a minute.
Okay. And so we'll go to the next question here, and to Adastra. So Adastra, the next question from the Sedge. He says, what gear and relic levels do you need at minimum to clear the gas event? What relics to comfortably beat it? I have a Relic 6 Annie, a Relic 3 Ventress, Padme Kenobi. Should I relic Droidica or B1, and what Zetas are needed?
Okay, I think it's my connection or something, because I heard like every other word you just asked me. So
Did you guys hear me okay, or maybe it's mine?
I heard you.
Something.
Okay.
Because you can hear me, huh? Right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, let me try going over here.
I can repeat. Let me know when you're ready.
Okay.
You good?
Yeah.
Okay. So the question from the Sedge, what gear and relic levels do you need at minimum to clear the gas event? And what relics to comfortably beat it? I have a Relic 6 Annie, a Relic 3 Ventress, Padme, and Kenobi. Should I relic Droidica or B1, and what Zetas are needed?
Okay, it's been a while since I've done it, so someone else is definitely welcome to chime in with a view as well. I remember when I did it, I struggled because I tried to do the bare minimums. This is when I rage reliced my B1. And I didn't have a Droidica Zeta either. I know a lot of people have said it's way easier with the Droidica Zeta. So if you have a spare Zeta, you could put it on him, and he can stay at gear 12 as a result of that too. And that it really helps with that Zeta, but it's extra, I mean, if you don't have the Zeta to spare, I mean, it's not a must, because I did it without it, but it took me 2 tries. Remodding was huge. There was actually a really cool guide on Reddit. I mean, it's probably still there. I can see if I can find it, but that's what I ended up using. It was a very well-written guide on Reddit of how to mod each character. But me, relicking B1 is what made a difference because of his damage output, helping to, talking about the last phase though, that's on the last one. Yeah. That helped with the mowing them down and stuff.
Yeah, you can relic.
Otherwise, yeah, you don't need.
Sorry if I can chime in. Obviously, Gom's already put a link in chat for a video. I think you did, Gom. Is that right? Is that the one you put in there for you?
That's the ship one. I think he's putting in there.
That's the ship one. Okay, so I've actually did a video back then as well for the Skywalker events. Probably one of the more popular ones I've done, if there is such a thing. I'll find the link and I'll pop it in a minute. But there's actually modding guides in that video and also in the resources in my server as well, which give you recommended ones. You can do it less than that, but it'll give you a pretty good indication on what works and what doesn't. And there's a strat on it as well. So give me a second.
I was going to try to hunt down that Reddit one, but if your video, that's probably perfect.
Yeah. Give me a second. I'll find it because it's got it all laid out. I'm just going to find it. Hang on one sec.
Yeah, we volunteer our videos, guys. It's not
I'll
for
see if I can beat you to it.
No, not at all. No, certainly not. At the end of the day, we're just giving you ideas, but don't take it or leave it. But at the end of the day, if it helps a little bit, that's great. But I've heard that it actually works pretty well. So that's all I know.
A lot of this stuff that the people ask us on here, it's been so long since we've done it. And me personally, I have a hard time remembering. And, I think I should probably make more videos so I can document stuff. But, yeah, the videos are helpful, guys. All the people on here have at one point.
Yeah, I just remember. Yeah, I had a difficult time on that last tier because my droids, my separatists, were not built up. Only my Asajj was because I love Night Sisters. So I definitely, again, no Zeta on Droideka. That made a huge difference for people with lower gears to complete it when they had the Zeta on him. It helped them to. I actually put out a video. I think I did put out a video of me passing it with the lower stuff and no Zeta. I don't know, but yeah, it's been a while.
The other thing too that
like I said,
sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
No, like I said, if I can hunt down that Reddit post, but I don't know if I can find
That's all right. I've got a link in there anyway for the video and also for the modding guide for the phase 4 at least, so that might help a little bit. But if not, hit me up and I'm happy to help anyone that needs some help with it.
Same. I'll post the one that I did because the one thing I'll caution people about, I did it on the third return of gas, which happened to be the return of gas when the bug was there where he counterattacks. And you probably want to make sure you check the date on a lot of the guys that you're looking for with gas, in particular with phase 4, because gas counterattacking throws away a lot of the guides because it's an additional piece of damage that just it completely wrecks you. So make sure when you're looking at the guides that you're looking at it at the date so that you're doing it. You're looking at ones that are maybe a little bit newer so that it is after Gas's bug is in the game. And if you're not familiar with what the bug is, basically he will counterattack before he goes into cover and kneels. So that extra hit, because it does it with ignoring armor, is a big hit, especially if you're trying to do things with like gear 12 and stuff. And so the modding guide I have only had one relic character, and that was Relic 1, or a Relic 5, B1. That was it. Everything else was gear 12. So when you say you already have like Ventress at 3, I think that's a benefit. I think B1 is probably the key one to have. As Adastra mentioned, I did have the Zeta on Droideka because it made it easier, but the Zeta really helps to just avoid RNG, so you have less time that you're trying to get this counterattack from, or the assist attack from Droideka, which is ultimately what becomes the phase 4 thing, the key to that team. Like, he becomes your damage dealer, everybody else is surviving, and you're just hoping Droideka goes and goes and goes and goes. Yep. So
and put tenacity on him, because when he gets dazed, it kills your run.
Yep. It does. So, I mean, we'll all post our videos in the chat for you guys, and you guys can see whichever one you want, whichever works. But I think we're all pretty much on the same thing, that you guys find the one that fits your roster the best. Everyone's roster is a little different, wherever your minimum. If you have a Relic 3 Ventress, you're in pretty good shape already. For phase 2...
I just found... Yeah. Oh, okay. It wasn't even Relic. Oh, okay. Nothing was reliced when I first did this event. So yeah.
Yeah. There's some people that did it with none. It requires a
yeah,
little
I have
bit
all
of
gear. Mine are all. I just looked at my old video. Oh wait, never mind. Carry on.
for
Looking at the wrong thing.
I have to go and check.
Okay.
I have to go and check back for phase 2. I don't know if you guys have the phase 2, but what was really easy for me, and girl Maurice can attest to this, we managed to use the strategy I'm going to talk about with Remon's mods and got him through phase 2. So
oh gosh, yeah. If he can do it.
Yes,
it's a miracle.
It is. It kind of was. There is a turn order sequence that you're looking for in phase 2. That should be
like your disclaimer right there. That if he can do it,
if Remon can do it, you can. But yeah, so the strategy for phase 2 is actually very largely based on your modding sequence and trying to get the B2 on the side out as quickly as possible. So you load up protection on the characters, and then you just have I can't remember who it was. I think I had Ahsoka going in with the damage and just completely wrecking it. I can go back and find it because I don't think I created a separate video for it yet. I was actually going to work on it, but it's I have it on my longer stream and go through in detail, and in Remon's remodding his roster. But it's a turn order sequence that you're looking for. So
So
okay. I found a super detailed phase 4 one. This guy did it with only a relic B1. So I mean that could be of use. Everything else was gear 12 for this guy. It was 7 months ago. So that's that was before the.
That was right after.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When I got gas the very first time around, and I had done GG or Magna Guard as relic. I think it was like relic 2 or 3, and then I did B1 like relic 5. The rest of them were all gear 12. I would recommend Jordica if you have the gear, at least the Zeta, but the gear. If you can slap on gear 13 relic like 2 or 3 on Jordica, it helps a lot. Otherwise, it's just about getting the phase down as fast as possible. That's all it is. The rest of it is RNG. If you don't want to slap the gear on, you might be going in and out quite a bit.
Yep.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. You just have to be ready that you might have to restart quite a few times. But it's possible to do it with gear 12s, and just good modding and RNG.
If I remember quick, a few months ago, I did a stream, where I used several of my own accounts and none of the community's accounts that I helped get gas for at all. There were several of them that did not have relics, and I still managed to get gas. It was just painful. I think I sat there for like 3 hours on one of them.
Yeah. Do yourself a favor, put a shockproof cover on your device, so if you do decide to throw it at the wall, at least it's not going to crack the screen.
That is true.
Good advice.
Yes. All right. Let us go back to the top here for the next round of questions. And we are over our halfway mark. We have like another 40 minutes left on the stream. We have our serious questions queued up. We also have some fun questions queued up. So make sure that if you guys haven't already, hit that thumbs up as we're getting to the rest of these questions here. We have 113 watching, 48 likes. I think we can do better than 50%.
Come on, guys. Crank that up. That's disgusting. Seriously. Put some effort in. Push it. It looks like this. That's what it looks like. Make it turn blue.
But it's not that fat.
You call me fat, bro. You want to go edit, bro?
Yes,
Come on, that's harsh. You want to
bald? I mean, you've got all that Vegemite behind you. It's no wonder.
It's delicious.
I know. It looks like it.
I know. Right. I use it for my Bacta tank. It gives me a good tan.
All right, Heinzie, question to you from WardL73. And the question is,
hello, brother.
Any word on why Stormtrooper Han was the login character for the month?
No, I really don't. I mean,
Death Star, maybe?
Yeah. Look, at the end of the day, with the login characters, we can look into it sometimes and it works great. I'm really at the point where I'm not really going to try and speculate what that does or doesn't mean anymore. We've had situations where the login character means something sometimes and not other times. I think that's a given. We might get some more Rebel characters at some point. I'd like to see, like a Stormtrooper Han rework. I loved him, in Arena in the early days. That was really fun. I'd love to see him be something that I could use more consistently anyway, but I don't believe that's why that's the logging character. But sometimes they certainly mean something, other times they do not. So look into it at your own peril, people, and farm accordingly. Don't sort of rely on it. Just run with it.
Okay. Next question for Rambam. Question from the Sedge. Which one should I Zeta in which order? I'm going to give you a list. He wants to know which ones in what order to Zeta.
Get your paper out.
The Red Sith Trooper, Mando, ARC Trooper. All the teams are gear 12 for those characters.
Honestly, it's going to depend on what you're working on, I think. If you're working for cam shards, ARC Trooper is obviously going to be great. If you're working towards, as far as just like grand arena teams, if you already have gas, ARC Trooper again. If you are working towards Kylo, or if you have obviously they're all gear 12, that doesn't matter. But if your crew team is better than your gas team, the Sith Trooper Zeta is really good, and it gives you a little bit more variety. ARC Troopers has to be used with either like Shaak Ti or clones, really, whereas Sith Trooper can be used with First Order or Sith. So if your Sith team is a little bit better, you could run Sith Trooper in there, and it's still going to be a lot better. Mando is more of a fun Zeta. It's more of I want to have this Zeta, but you don't really need it, especially if he's low gear. I have him a gear 11 4-star, so his Zeta still works. He's still good. It's just it's not a priority, I think, compared to those other two characters. So it depends on what you're working on, but I would say either Sith Trooper for probably Grand Arena and more usability realistically, and then ARC Trooper, unless you're working towards cam or you have a better gas team.
There you go. Okay. Next question. Good old Maurice. What is the best Galactic Legend counter using Vader? Currently, I have Vader R7, Probe Droid R3, Thrawn at Relic 2, Watt at Gear 12, and who else?
Well, I do think you have a lot of components. But at the end of the day, the best team I find to be is Vader or Thrawn lead. Well, basically, it depends on the situation. I think you could use a group of 6 to 8 characters for both GLs, and the leadership's gonna bounce around between Vader himself, Thrawn, and Traya. One of those 3 leads, and all 3 of those characters are components of the team. And then you're probably going to want like Bastila Fallen Sean as an option. It's tough to give an exact example without knowing which team you're facing. But basically, Vader, Thrawn, Traya, Watts, and Bastila is one if you don't need a tank. If you're facing Kylo's, a strong pre-taunt, whether it be Shore Trooper or Sith Trooper, is probably the way to go. IPD will help you initially, but IPD, once the teams really get advanced and really fine-tuned and stuff, the IPD counters kind of fall off, in my opinion. Like the IPD was very helpful, like the IPD Shore Trooper comp when people are kind of fresh in Galactic Legends. But once you get to the end game, if people really have their Galactic Legends teams rocking and rolling, I don't find IPD very helpful. So some combination of those 6 or 7 characters, and the turn order is very important. You want a lot of crit chance and potency on your Vader, and speed, obviously. To the point where meeting particular potency crit chance thresholds is almost more important than the offense itself. If you want to use like a Thrawn or Traya lead, I do like offense on Vader if he's the lead, but if he's a supporting member, just make sure you have tons and tons of potency, 100% plus potency, crit chance. You probably want 70 plus, if not more, of both to really land those dots. So, yeah, I'm not sure if that was helpful, but it's so difficult to try to counter these, and every team has to be so fine tuned. It's difficult, but I think if you get those characters up and rolling, you'll want to gear 13, probably your Watts, and get your Thrawn up there a little bit. You probably need to put a couple relics on Thrawn just in the event that, so he can withstand, one hit, because crit avoidance arrow on Thrawn is not a bad idea either. there's all sorts of. If you want to message me on Discord with the exact team you're trying to counter, I can probably give you a little better answer than that jumbled mess I just gave. So, yeah,
it's not an easy one. So yeah, no, that works. All right, Adastra, question to you from Jaina. So your question is, which Jedi is currently most in need of reworking with the exclusion of Mace, given that his need is so clear?
I like that there's an exclusion.
Mm-hmm.
But yep, that's a given. He's up there.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be the other ones that are down there. I mean, sadly, there are a few. So, a top one other remaining. It'd probably be like, as painful as it is for me to say this, because I have made use of her, Jedi Knight Guardian. She could use, I think I've said this before, so I'll say it again. Jedi Knight Guardian and Jedi Consular. If we ever get a Jedi Sentinel, they could do an awesome trio, rework Consular and Guardian, and then have this nice synergy with the three of them, and they could do a lot of cool stuff. That's been my hope for probably well over a year, for a while. Like, that'd be cool. Then others, like we just have so many down here, Koth and Umagandi, they're well past their days of, Umagandi was useful in the tank raid at least, but and he's not horrible. So that's why I've been saying Guardian and Consular, if they did a rework of those guys and brought in Sentinel, I'd be very happy. That'd be awesome.
I would. There's also
that's got to be Jaina Lorso out there. She's the only one that loves Jedi as much as Adastra does. Let's be honest, she's a star.
It was Jaina. It was the lovely
I've got no doubt. When we're talking Jedi, there's only one other person named Jaina that loves Jedis anywhere near Adastra.
Or Mace.
Oh, no one loves Mace. Move on.
If only your camera was on.
Someday we will get the Mace that we deserve.
Oh, you want me to turn my camera on? Oh, okay. Here, I got you.
Oh, you mongrel, you're going to use that photo. You suck. Oh, I can't believe you did that. Oh, you are an evil man. You're an evil man, Rambam. Evil, evil man.
Oh, that's right. You guys can't see it. Okay, here, I got you.
I said that test photo.
And that was your very first.
I sent that test photo to Molepills to test my camera about a year ago, and all of a sudden it popped up last night in our stream, and I can't believe that thing still exists.
Good old man Heinze, Professor Heinze.
It was a good idea at the time. It certainly is not a good idea now. But anyway.
You know what? Everything seems like a good idea when you're drunk.
You know what? Stuff it. I'll run with it, man. That one's to you, Ram Bam. You're welcome. Turn around and have a good look.
All right. So next one is back to the top to Heinze.
Yes, sir.
So I tried to get a little clarification on this question. I didn't see anything from the Sedge, so take it how you want this one. But the Sedge asks, which team is better at all Gear 12? And all these teams are Gear 12. Which team is better and who should I Zeta first? Imperial Troopers or a Vandor Chewie team? Which Zetas do Imperial Troopers need if I need to do it? He does have the Zeta on Vandor Chewie per the question. So I'm assuming it's an Old Republic versus Imperial Trooper question.
Yeah, I mean, Vandor Chewie obviously is good. If you're looking for a timeout team, if we're talking PvP, Troopers are amazing. They take out some pretty wicked teams, Sisters and stuff like that, especially High Relic as well. I mean, obviously you need, along the lines of the Stark Zeta, you need the, you also need the...
you don't need the Stark Zeta.
No, it's better though. It's much better. I enjoy it a lot more. I really do. I'm not going to lie.
Realistically, the only Zeta that you need for a trooper team is Veers.
Correct, Veers.
Realistically,
that was the word I was looking for. Veers is great. I like Stark as well. Pimp Trooper is the boss. Cheap farm, easy farm, own the Omegas. He's magnificent. So much fun and makes them sing. Really, really does. Highly recommend the Troopers as an option, certainly. But yeah, if you're talking survival team, Vandor Chewie, he's wonderful. But if your opposition if he's lucky enough to have, Darth Malak unlocked, it's a solo every day of the week. So at the end of the day, it depends on which way you want to go, really. And really,
And I
it is a
apologize
tough
really quick.
question.
I said
No,
Old Republic. Vandor Chewie's not Old Republic. I didn't mean Old Republic. I meant the Kira Scoundrel
I know what you
team.
meant. I know what you meant. But Kira leads Scoundrel with Vandor, and really whatever else you put with it, doesn't matter what you put with it. You can auto. I've autoed it a million times with Darth Malak if you come up against a roster with Malak in the lineup. So I'd say Troopers because there's so. Look, I'm not going to lie. Troopers are fun as hell. They really are fun. When you get the stomp action going with the Pimp Trooper, Range Trooper, if you want to be specific, it's a hell of a lot of fun to play. It really is. So,
that's the character Cubs hasn't farmed yet, right?
Probably the only one he hasn't. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. My Troopers need some love too. I'm not going to lie. I've been farming these freaking Legends and I've got them done. I'm finally getting back to the point that I'm actually going to farm things I really enjoy and love. Yep. And the Troopers are on my list to do. I'm not going to lie. They're fun as.
Troopers need a lot of speed, though. They need a lot of speed. So, if you don't have very good speed mods, that could be tough. Because, your 265 speed Stark really isn't going to beat too much.
True. True. No, as I said, you got to pick your battles.
You need to join me. I have a 330 speed Stark.
Well, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I've got mine over 300 speed, and it works wonders.
Yeah, it's not only working on the team and getting them.
You don't need to go as crazy as me. If you can get a 300 speed Stark, you're gonna you'll be able to outspeed a decent amount of stuff.
Yeah. You just talked everybody out of doing Troopers with that comment.
It's such a fun team, though. It really is.
Oh God, it's so much is.
Lesser, it's so fun.
I wouldn't recommend it in 3v3. They kind of suck in 3v3.
But
their strength is in numbers.
But you know what, though? And this would be awesome. A lot of us are finding Mando characters at the moment. I'd love to see someone like Moff Gideon come in and just make them sing. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I'd love to get Gideon in there as either a leader or a support character and then just pump Death Trooper up so he just annihilates people and just starts, just smashing heads. That would be a way to really make them just stand up and be something really serious. And it'd be
it is due for some Empire love after all the Rebel stuff, so you never know.
My God, I can't believe Adustra is talking Empire. What the hell? Where's the real Adustra gone? What's going on here?
The Imps are an exception for me.
Oh,
it's such a fun team. It's such a fun team.
Molly, I didn't see that one coming. Jeepers.
All right, next question, Rambam. And it's an actual serious question from Durgan. And the question is...
That's not possible.
I know.
Why don't we get those?
It's weird. I don't have a fun question from Durgan. I only have a serious question, which is...
Whoa, what's going on here?
It's weird. I know. So the question is, with the power of the Galactic Legends, wouldn't they have to make a new raid at minimum the difficulty level of Phase 4 Lightside GOTB so the Galactic Legends couldn't easily walk over it? People would still hate it.
Oh yeah, no. Any raid they come out, any raid that they come out with is going to be stupid. It's going to be stupid hard because you think about the power creep that they've set for themselves. When Sith Raid came out, it was March 2018 when Sith Raid came out, and we were still at Gear 12. I don't even think we had Gear 12 Plus at that point, did we? I don't think so. I think Gear 12 Plus came out after that. So we were still at Gear 12 with the 3 pieces. And that was the standard that it was set for, or, at least doable at that point. And then as we started progressing and we got into relics, it became a lot easier. People were able to do millions of damage instead of thousands of damage. And then finally Galactic Legends came out, and now Kylo can solo the entire thing. So anything that they bring out is going to have to be on par with a character that cannot... You don't obviously want the character to solo it. You don't want Kylo to come out and solo the brand new raid that you just put out. So there's going to be some sort of mechanic on top of the crazy buffs and on top of the crazy gear levels, and it's probably going to be geared for Relic 10 or 15 or some crazy crap like that. But it's going to be nuts, and I'm going to hate it more than Lightside Territory Battles, I feel like.
Yeah, everything's going to scale with whatever's the top in the game, right? And right now it's Galactic Legends, so there's probably going to be a large difficulty level. But it's possible they introduce mechanics maybe similar to the way they introduced Nihilus in the Sith raid to start off with, right? Where all the teams could still only do a certain amount because you're working through this protection, and there's something else going on in the mechanics that can help reduce the damage of the Galactic Legends and maybe balance out some of the teams. So
yeah, they could definitely work around it, and I think this also would help with the whole personal raid aspect as well, because then people wouldn't get as frustrated when it's just yourself doing, you get to test out different things, and then they scale the rewards and the tiers appropriately. But yeah, there would definitely be a delicate balance of, with our insane, some of these insane characters now. It's like, it's not even only the Galactic Legend. We have some really powerful other characters that are really powerful too. So they would have to really, yeah, man, we may never get a raid, huh?
Yeah, it'll be.
There's a lot they would have to do to make sure it's not insane, but also not too easy. Yeah.
I think that's Durgan's point, that they can release a raid, but with where the difficulty of the game is right now, and if we look at Lightside GOTB, we still may not be happy with the raid because the difficulty would just be so high, we would talk about it in the same way we talk about Lightside GOTB. So it's a fair point.
Well, if they would bring up, I remember when, even within this lull, there's been a lot of threads, Reddit posts, or just in general, we've talked this to death ourselves even, that people have come up with a lot of cool ideas, so CG can just actually look over some of those ideas and, take from the people. And then you also have the factor of ships, that it was going to be a ship raid, so that would also help break it up where it'd be impossible to solo it. You can't, if you have a ship phase in the middle of your ground phase, no one's going to be able to just solo it regardless of the mechanics and stuff.
Yep. No,
but you know what, though? If you had a raid, right, that you couldn't complete, at least it gives you something to achieve and work on. Is that a bad thing?
It is when you look at Lightside GOTB and the reaction to it.
That's crazy. Absolutely. It's crazy hard. But again, one thing at some point, whether you like it or not, at some point we're either going to get one of three things or maybe more than one. We're going to get either a cap increase, we're going to get either a relic increase, or we're going to get a mod. Purple mods, we've seen them, right? They exist. At some point, either one of those is going to kick in, two or three of those are going to kick in, and they're going to make a lot of the LS, the light side GOTB easier. Happened when Hoth came out, happened when the dark side Geo came out. If you remember with the dark side Hoth, they had to ramp it back a bit because it was too heavy. Remember, they did a bit of a nerf on it to bring it back to make it more achievable. At least if we've got a raid in the system, at least we've got something to work on. We've got something to theory craft as a community. How's that a bad thing?
It's not from, I think, maybe a lot of our perspectives, but I'm sure you know this, Heinzie. Like, maybe we're a little bit more level-headed than some people because you know how the community reacts. They release something too hard.
I'm not level-headed, man. I'm the furthest person from level-headed.
No, you are more level-headed than you give yourself credit for, especially without the hair. It keeps everything flat. So
don't pick on the hair, bro. It's all back there. It's dropped. It's gone south. I've still got some, just not up here.
Well, you are down under.
But, bet your ass I am, absolutely.
But you know that the community tends to get extremely negative when things get maybe too difficult, right? Like, there's one thing about having a difficulty. There's another thing about having a difficulty that seems unachievable, right? And that's what Lightside GOTB was, right? It was unachievable to get the maximum stars. We calculated even if you got like perfect waves, you were still millions of GP short per person to get it.
Yes.
Right? So if you create a new
raid, a whole different area, With the raid, they would have to do like two different final levels. Like thinking on this now aloud, that for end game, for us at the highest end, what are they gonna do to challenge us that's not gonna screw over everyone else? So they probably have to break it up into two different, like a tier 8. Like you have tier 7 and then tier 8. So like tier 7 would be the normal scaling, and then
but you know what?
It's for the highest end. But I don't know if that would be well received either.
Mm-hmm.
But here's a crazy idea, right? If you build a light side GOTB and you release something or a raid or whatever else, and you walk into it and you can't beat it straight away, when you release it, why don't you just do a release that says, you know what, guys, we haven't designed this for you to be able to clear yet. It's going to be 12, 18 months, 2 years, whatever it is. just communicate that, guys, we're making this for the long term, not for the short term. Make everyone aware of that up front. Whilst it's not ideal, at least you know where you stand, and they have plans to actually make it easier to do down the track.
They've done the opposite.
Correct. My point exactly.
They went into the Q&A, and when somebody asked, are you going to increase something in order to make it easier? They say, no, we have no intention of doing it. So they're almost doubling down as if somehow we're supposed to do it. It almost sounds like.
Correct. My point exactly. And that's my point.
If and the average was like 12 million per person, I think was the estimate of what you needed for this TV.
With you like most of that in ships.
Million.
Correct. And that's my point. I mean, you know, they have to obviously introduce stuff down the track that's going to make it easier for those sections to clear. Because here's an idea. If you create something that makes a phase easier to clear that you've got a whale on to get it, all of a sudden they're making money again. And we have to consider that too. So at the end of the day, our roster is where it's at the moment, but I'm sure there'll be things down the track that will make those battles a lot easier to clear, and therefore get those banners, the territory points that you need, make it easier to clear. But just not yet.
But and I think, like I said, that was like a serious question from Durgan, and I think it does bring up an interesting point about the scaling of difficulty with the Galactic Legends and raids. So yeah, well, I mean,
yes. Who are you, Durgan? You are not the real Durgan. Something happened.
Coming from Jedi Master Adastra, who suddenly loves Imperial troopers. I mean, you're
This is backwards day.
It is. Everything is backwards. It's just everything is backwards. All right. We have 2 more questions here before our fun questions. So next one, good old Maurice.
Make Foster's great again.
Good old Maurice.
You want me to make you some? I can make you some. I've got the recipe.
Well, you still didn't send me the ones you made last night.
I can make some more if you want. But
okay.
We'll that later.
Gom, question to you from Brian Bodie. I'm having issues with Galactic Legend Ray mirrors. I'm running a Relic 7 Ray, Relic 7 GK, Relic 7 Gas, Relic 5 JKR, and Hero Poe. Any ideas?
I could try to BS my way through this one, but I've never ran Ray and Arena, so this is probably better suited for somebody else.
All right. Heinze or Adastra, you both have Ray, right? I think Rambam, you have Kylo.
I have Kylo.
You have Kylo. So
sorry, I've got Ray, but Adastra, she's the queen on.
We'll go to Adastra then for this.
I guess by default, this goes to me.
There we go. It works.
You work to your strengths.
Well, actually, I was helping someone else with this exact problem though, so I can sort of answer it. Because I'm the same way. I don't like doing the Ray mirrors, so I usually use other counters, or I use Kylo because it goes quicker. But for the Ray mirrors, especially since you're facing these weird, just arena-only teams. But in general, it works really well because you have a lot of control on offense. You just have to keep that in mind, that you're trying not to trigger her whirlwinds, that you want to focus down their sides, the few other than Ray. So you can kind of control it as you're doing your damage. And a team that's pretty good is actually Resistance, believe it or not. I mean, I know there's all these funky combos. You know, you just said you're using your Jedi. Some people use Watt with Jedi as well. But one that I really liked when I was helping someone testing stuff, you keep the Resistance heroes, and you actually have R2, and you have Holdo. Those, because you're doing is it's kind of a little strategy here for it. So you have the damage. So R2 is there to help with extra damage, and then his stealthing, and then you have the Resistance hero bros that are damage. And then Holdo for the healing for your Ray. Because what you're trying to do is whirlwind them before your team gets whirlwinded. So it's going to depend on what comp you're facing. So it's kind of hard, to Gom's point way earlier, there's all these different types of teams you're facing. So your strategies vary per Galactic Legend. But in general, you're going to be taking your time to not trigger their damage immunities. So you can kind of pay attention as you're doing your attacks, so you can one-shot them versus triggering, and then their rage just goes crazy, and it makes it super annoying when they go into damage immunity. So I actually took some videos. I don't know if you want to Discord me, but I can do a very detailed breakdown for you with these videos, because I literally just helped someone else with this. But that's just the general idea of it. It's just you just take your time. It's kind of a patience game, and again, it depends on which comp you're fighting, but and then you're gonna time your ultimate. I don't know if you said you had your ultimate, but if you have your ultimate, then of course you just time it so when they trigger the ultimate, you then use it after them, so they won't do anything to you, and then you're gonna do the damage to them. But it's mainly that controlling of the whirlwind stuff that makes it a little smoother, that you're not just going without thinking, triggering all those damage immunities and just getting stuck on one of their, if they have a tank, they're just getting stuck. And that's where your characters like Watt helps. And then you have the different Jedi combinations. But that's where resistance actually helps, because you have the synergies they have and then the damage outputs, and just banking on your rate to pretty much do her thing. So like when she does her whirlwinds, then you use hold up to heal her up, and then she go down and do another whirlwind, and you have they're not fun. I agree. Like I said, that is not my preferred method of climbing an arena. I very much prefer to use, Jedi, or even, Veer is a lot of fun, or Kylo. Kylo is, yeah. But yeah, the mirrors are possible.
Yep, just not easy. And he's saying, he always just times out, and I've seen that too with people's videos and battles and stuff. So.
Yeah, that's where I said there's a little nuances to it, but it still works.
Yes. Okay, so Gom, we'll give you the last question here from Nightmare, and the question is: I'm unlocking Cam this TB. Is it worth gearing him at all?
No.
Hey, you take that back.
Oh, wow.
I guess the question is, what are you going to use him with? Like, do you have Gear 13 relics, Jedi Counselor, Luminara, Amagundi, Qui-Gon Jinn? Like, if you don't have any of the supporting cast, I don't feel it's worth it. Dasper will have a tantrum, I know, but it's just you got to have supporting cast for it, and I don't. So I mean, I've got, after this one, mine will be 6-star. I mean, he's geared 9, gear 10. I don't have anybody to really put him with. I mean, I'd have to break up already functioning teams to put him to use. I don't personally feel it's worth it. He's going to be great. I know a lot of people really underestimated this kid, and they don't think he's going to be very good, which is going to be wrong. But you just need an obscure supporting cast, kind of like Mon Mothma. You need all these obscure rebel fighters. You're going to need some of these other Jedis for him too. Long term, he's great, but you need Barriss, you need Luminara, you need Qui-Gon Jinn, you need all these characters. I mean, I don't have these characters, and my GP is pretty high. So, just celebrate unlocking him, because that's a big achievement. Like, I don't want to take anything away from that. Just maybe favorite him and put gear on him slowly. He takes lots of Carbonis. I think he takes Kyrotex. I could be wrong, but gear that other people that you need for Galactic Legends, perhaps for Luke, other characters that will give you much more instant, reward than him. But that's. Sorry, I didn't mean to. don't want to.
There's no doubt when it comes to the GOTB, are the two characters up on offer. What Tambor is the one every day of the week you should go harder for. Sure, he's a star.
Yeah, very usable at 4 stars.
No, Gom had it good there after he elaborated a little bit. That's just a huge achievement to even get him. Some people aren't even working, or it's very difficult. And it is very contingent on your other Jedi cast. Absolutely. But you can also share him with Grandmaster Yoda. So keep that in mind, too, that you actually have to have a full-fledged Galactic Republic team. So I just want to keep that in mind as well. But I'm excited for when he's maxed out, because it's going to change. I've had these ideas for a while now, and it's... But yeah, it's more of a Grand Arena extra team. So if you have a Qui-Gon Jinn, Zeta lead, you can do some cool teams with that.
Mm-hmm.
But they get 60 speed.
Yeah, so
just like you're thinking with Cam and Qui-Gon, that's 60 speed they get. And then they get all these offensive boosts.
The offense to that speed, yeah.
And the foresight, and they'll start with foresight too.
Yeah.
He's going to start showing up.
And then Varys, I still say this, but yeah.
Not looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'm still 12 shards out from him, and my guild gets 4 to 5 shards every TB, so I won't even get him this round unless our average shoots up.
If someone steps it up.
Okay, so that was it for the serious questions. We are now going to jump into the fun questions here as we go into our last 10 minutes. So the first question is from Nightmare. He says, how do you feel now that the big SWGOH YouTubers are only now starting to reach out to smaller SWGOH content creators because their friends quit? Seems awfully pathetic from my perspective.
That's a fun question?
Well, it's a non-actual game question, so it's in the fun one. So I started off with that one, but then we have other ones.
Question.
And we're all pouting now. Just
No.
Go ahead, Anji.
Can I start on this one? All right.
Yeah,
so the first thing is that firstly, I believe that's completely false. And the reason is that I wouldn't even be on here if it wasn't for other people to support me. I've had people like McMull who helped me get started. I've had Urs who reached out to me early on as well. I've had guys like Cubs as well helping us out, podcast guys. There's been a lot of people that help everyone. When it comes to a lot of the creators, a lot of people don't see what goes on in the background with a lot of the communications and a lot of the servers and bits and pieces. There's crazy support for top end down right to the bottom that a lot of people don't even realize. And really, there's no bigger thrill that personally when I'm doing I'm doing a stream and we have a raid on Twitch, for instance, I personally look for people that are covering SWGOH and they got 2 or 3 or 4 people watching and that's it. And then we hit them with the raid and they just have a ball and it's great. I'm all for supporting people coming through because at the end of the day, the more people covering our game, that's an amazing thing because one of those guys could be a game changer for us that we could really enjoy in time. So bring it, keep bringing it.
I want to pick up on that too because I obviously I'm probably the smallest. I don't Adasher, you don't stream, right?
Nope, I have yet to stream. I joined others that have streamed, but I haven't.
In a few weeks. You coming on in a few weeks? I've called you out. You know that. You coming on with me in a few weeks?
But you want me to show my face, so I don't know about that.
Oh, everyone loves to see. They'd love to see.
Rip. So
I have to think carefully about that one.
I am probably the smallest streamer on here on this panel. Obviously compared to RSG and GOM, I'm small. I'm less than 500 on Twitch. But that being said, I disagree with that statement completely. Not Heinz's. I disagree with that question. Just because you guys don't see what is going on, just because you don't see collabs or videos or streams where their streamers pop in, does not mean that they do not help out the smaller streamers. Point in case me example. I've had help from Heinze. I've had help from Grid, both with quadruple the amount of that I have. I've had help from Arnold. I've had help from Mobile Gamer. I've had help from Cubs. All of this behind the scenes. Yes, we have not done a collab. Yes, I would love to do a collab. That doesn't mean that I have not reached out to them. They have come back to me with answers of, hey, this is how you make your stream better. This is what you do for this. This is how you do this. And so I disagree that they're only helping people because of, their buddies quitting Mobile and Urs and whatnot. That's not the case at all, I don't feel.
You're 100% right. Like, for those of you guys that don't make content, the content creation aspect of this game and any game is very supportive of one another. I know in our stream we talk a lot of shit and we're critical, but it doesn't mean that we're supportive of everyone. Like it doesn't matter how big you are, how small you are. I mean, the bigger you are, great. Like, there's no jealousy really. At least I'm speaking for my personal experience. There's no jealousy in terms of how big you get and why you get that big. Like there's nothing but support for one another, big and small. Like I was a game changer, and there was a server on the game change. There was a server specifically for us. There was nothing but each other helping us out. The biggest guys helping out the smallest guys. I know Arnold and I, when we first started Metaverse, he gave me a lot of good advice in terms of like what to claim, tax purposes, like how to basically manage the financial aspect of a YouTube account. That's something I had no idea. I was completely clueless, and he was super helpful. And at the time, we were super small, so I mean, everyone's out to help one another. So
that's awesome. I mean, it's always good having more variety out there too. So I think that's part of it as well, that people want to see. You know, you don't want to see just only one person creating things. You know, like it's cool having like the diversity that we have, and you know, people that live stream or just upload videos or just, and yeah, overall, it seems just a very open and fun community in that regard. You know, like I don't live stream, but I upload, you know, various videos, and I've even, you know, I've gotten connections with other creators, and you know, they've helped me with something, I've helped them with something. So, and it's a good overall, it's just a good community.
I know
It really is.
I think it's more. It's not settling for the second best. I think it's like it's more of the case of people getting like recognized for their growth in the progress they've made. You know, I think it's more of a testament to how some of the smaller guys have gotten so much better over the past few months and years than it is just like, well, I lost my friend, let's settle for this guy. Like I think you know, like Heinze, for instance, doing the Rogue Actions, that he deserves every bit of it. You know, like he does a great job of the stream, and I think it's good that some of these other content creators are getting up in the forefront because they absolutely deserve it. So it's good. Like our community's in a good spot still. I think I'm very proud of being a member of this. And everybody that makes content, everybody that's watching this stream, you know, it's great every day to be a part of this entire community.
Yep. I know that I can reach out to every creator out there and get a response. I also know, and every other creator that is smaller and whatever else knows that they can reach out to me. I'm more than happy to help everyone. That's how we roll. It's as simple as that.
Well, except me, apparently, because you still won't respond to my DMs.
No, because Mace sucks, man. I'm not talking to you. You can get stuff.
And to what Heinze and Adastra were discussing, we did get a comment in chat, Adastra, from Durgan.
Oh no!
So he is supportive of you not wanting to show your face on stream.
I'm not saying she has to.
He said just have your camera from the neck
Durgan
down.
Being serious now.
No. Durgan said just have your camera from the neck down, and then problem solved. So.
Oh my gosh! Oh, Durgan!
There's the Durgan we love.
There we go. So you worked with death today. It's good to know all was right in this.
There's the Durgan. All right.
I'm gonna get you for that one, though, Mister.
Wow. He doesn't want the North Zone. He just wants the South Zone. That's all he's after. That's it. Unbelievable. And no. Look, I've thrown it out there, and I'm going to throw it out again, Adastra. You're more than welcome to join us. You don't have to show your face if you don't want to. I think it would be an honor and a pleasure for you to pop on it and join us in any way, shape, or form you want. It would be wonderful because, honestly, you're a star and you deserve some recognition. So, really, I'd love to have you on at some point in the next few weeks.
I appreciate it. I'd be happy to join you guys for sure.
Then it's happening. It's just a matter of when, guys. It's going to happen, all right? Simple as that. We'll do everything we can. I'll try and persuade her in the meantime to show her beautiful face. We'll see how we go.
All right, next question. So we have one more kind of groany fun question, just more irrelevant, not relevant to the game specific. Gom, I'll let you handle this one. Zachary Parlay, this is a serious question. What happened to Lord Skunk? He seemed to disappear with no explanation.
Well, Lord Skunk actually, he hung up his hat. He hung up the reins in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. He actually began raising lizards on boats. Mm-hmm. So that's all there really is to it.
Yep. He came back for like a little while, made a couple videos of him on a boat, I think. And yeah, that was it.
I don't even know. Like that's not a question for the end of the stream. Like that's there was such a.
Oh, there's more. There's more fun questions. Don't worry. That's why I threw all the groaners in.
I don't know. It just whatever. It was. Looking back, it was really silly. It was like a community revolting against somebody. It's really silly. It was. at the time there was so many like it's so
he
dumb.
kicked me while I was asleep. He kicked my entire guild out of Team Skull while I was asleep because of me.
I mean, because at the time he was the only game in town. You know, there was a couple guys like that ranged like Merlin Dark Mage and Alon, and there were very few content creators. He was by far, hands down, the absolute biggest. And I guess to make a long story short, it got to his head, and you know, he basically ran out anybody that helped him, and then he couldn't do it by himself. So he made a video where he's raising lizards and riding on boats, and that was the last time we saw him. So I don't know.
All right, now we'll continue here. Next question. This is a fun question. Snoochie Boochies. Anyone else disappointed that Urs didn't stick around to rant on CG for Galactic Challenges? He did.
Oh,
he did.
Didn't he have like a pre-rant? He like did a pre-rant about it before it even came out.
But he ranted actually on Twitch, so he did. Like he had this whole thing on Twitch. He was not a fan of Galactic Challenges, and that's part of what led him to kind of leave.
His rants are epic, and we're gonna miss them the most because when he lets rip, there is nothing to beat that. That is some beautiful stuff to watch, and it's timeless. It's wonderful.
Yep. Next question, Nathan H. Question: will you announce that Heinze had his QPP? I don't know what that means.
What the hell?
I don't know what that means. I have no clue. Nathan H.
Oh shit! Ranger popped in here.
Oh,
what the hell is Ranger doing here?
There he is. He's awake.
Crap! No, he's not awake. Have a look at him. He's a zombie.
All right. I don't know what the QPP is. So I'm lost on that one.
I mean, one of the letters is probably preload. Probably stands for preload.
QPP. Yeah, you know me.
You know that seems to be the thing, but I have no idea either.
Yeah, I had no clue. Nathan H's next question: will you celebrate Heinze's 100th episode? I was watching your 100th episode.
Yes, that was fun.
I took care of it. That's why I look like I died.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you did. That was amazing. That was honestly, that was just a stream of a lifetime. I'm not going to lie. I didn't think anyone would watch any more than like 2 of my stuff. Seriously, I'm not lying. It was so much fun, and I'm never going to forget last night.
We only watched it because everybody was there. You know, Ranger, Grid. It wasn't because of you.
Oh, they were there for them, not for me. That was the best bit. That's why I brought people in to deflect the interest from me. No.
It'd be better if your camera was off.
Oh, I completely agree, man. Absolutely. But for some...
No, then we wouldn't get to see the dancing.
People want to watch me dance.
Oh, yeah. The dancing was epic. Anyway. Don't worry. I've got a good song for you next week.
Oh, God help us.
And Adastra, you get to pick the week after, right?
I still have a song due for you as well.
Ooh,
and I did donate a lot. Does that mean I can do another song so I can do 2 songs for you?
Yeah, we can run through. Adastra, what do you got in mind? I know, for instance, we've already talked about this. We have no doubt Rambam wants me to do a little bit of In the Navy from Village People. We know that's coming. But what have you got in mind, Adastra? What are you thinking? Come on, give me an idea on what the heck I'm going to be dancing to on a Grizzly session.
You won't know until you know.
That's evil. That's harsh. I like it.
He's just guessing it's in the Navy. I haven't told him what it is.
Do you know how to floss, Heinze? Do you know how to do the floss?
I know. I'm a shit flosser. What do you reckon, man? Do I look like someone that can floss?
I don't know.
Seriously. Man, I haven't even been to the dentist, let alone floss dancing, man. Honestly.
Girl Maurice, I think you need to give him some tips.
Yeah, I was about to say, if you need tips, I got you, bro.
Dude, I need to learn how to do the freaking worm, bro. I've seen that. That is beautiful hotness, that.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
The worm is beautiful hotness. You are not.
That worm was hot AF, dude. Seriously, that was something I
You would make that a bad worm.
Girl Maurice is the resident Jedi Academy dancing expert. That needs to be like your official title.
Amazing. Oh, dude, seriously, I looked at that, and honestly, I tell you what, if I was a chick, dude, I wouldn't have held back. I'm not going to lie. That was
you had to hold back because of the worm, though. I can no longer reproduce, so it's really a lose-lose situation.
It's not making that
down. There were ice packs and pillows involved. It's true.
Oh shit! Toyota's in the house. I want to give a shout out because yesterday was his birthday.
It was. We shouted him out. So happy birthday, Toyota.
Happy birthday to Toyota.
Yes, we shout out you yesterday with your big birthday and happy belated birthday. This is the next day after your birthday.
All right. Next question. Nathan H. Which guest host is best at helping Heinze avoid preload?
Oh, come on. I did all right. That's not fair.
I think you're
That's
doing okay.
hard.
I think you're doing okay.
But wouldn't it be extra questions without at least one
Yeah.
preload reference?
It's
I
true.
know. I stayed up till stupid o'clock for this. What the hell?
Grim, CG Finity, why did you tease us with the Death Star challenge? And I'm still teasing you with the Death Star challenge. Let it be known. Why did I? I still am. There's a Death Star challenge coming up. That's what else am I going to do? That's exactly what is coming up. There is a Death Star challenge coming up. Enjoy it. That's all I can say. All right, next question. What else 73? Can Heinze say exhibition 5 times really fast?
Exhibition, 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 exhibition. And yes, I've had a ridiculous amount of beer, and I can still do it.
I wasn't fast enough.
Boom!
All right.
Faster.
Around the corn, Nathan H. What unreleased profile portrait and title would you want as a reward? So, Rambam,
Oh.
title and
Dana.
portrait. What would you want?
Oh.
Title and portrait. Oh man. Well, I mean,
Oh, here we go.
I kind of already have the portrait I want because I have Mace Windu. But I don't know. Shit, man.
I mean,
You should just have it say granted title of Jedi Master. That's the title. You'll have.
Well,
Mace
they already
Windu.
have a Jedi Master title. Though.
No. Actually, it says granted title of Jedi Master. So you could have Rambam, granted title of Jedi Master as your title.
But Jedi Master Rambam sounds better. I don't know, man.
But you don't get Jedi Master Rambam. You get Rambam with Jedi Master underneath it, and it doesn't make sense.
That's
get a
non-existent.
Very true, very true.
Man, that's never going to happen, people.
Well, just like you're never going to stop preloading.
Cheers, man.
you're on this council, Rambam, but we don't give you the rank of master.
Take a seat, Rambam. Take a seat.
Yeah.
That could be a title. Take a seat.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'd like to see more Darth Maul stuff. I really like Darth Maul. Like I have him relic 3, and I'm working on taking him up just because I like him, not because he's any good. I know he's not good. I have a relic 7 Mace. I know, but I like Darth Maul. I've always liked Darth Maul. We kind of have all the stuff. Other than that, I mean, we have some really good portraits, really good titles out there already.
Okay. Heinze.
Dude, I want Slave Leia or Midriff Padme. It's pretty simple.
You're never
really.
going to get that either.
You're never going to get that.
Yeah.
At least
would be
not.
amazing.
You
It's
could
Disney,
get
man.
Midriff Padme.
It's Disney.
Midriff Padme is in the game just as an NPC. You're not going to get
She
Slave
isn't?
Leia,
Come
though.
on,
No, Slave Leia, they retired her anything associated with her. That was-
All right, then give me Midriff Padme every day of the week.
Okay.
There you go.
There you go. Good old Maurice. Portrait and title.
Titles and portraits.
Yep.
I guess the portrait would be the Red Sith Trooper, and the title would be "Stick It In."
We have the Red Sith Trooper portrait, though.
If you're not familiar with what good old Maurice is talking about, when we did our What a Whale Wants stream, he revealed that apparently his name for the Red Sith Trooper is in fact the Tampon Trooper. And unbeknownst to him, nobody else calls it the Tampon Trooper. We were just all very
The Red Sith
confused.
Trooper portrait GOM is actually this week in Grand Arena.
Oh, wow.
You can get the Red Sith Trooper portrait. So.
Adastra, follow that.
Well, mine.
Dude, that's harsh.
We don't have a Plo Koon portrait.
DG actually responded to my question, and they said not gonna happen. So I will never get an Ayla portrait. I
Oh,
flat out asked them if they were ever, and they said no.
Wow.
it's messed up.
That's
the
harsh.
questions I've submitted, like questions every time, and that's the only question they've ever answered.
And they gave
Will
you
I
a
get
no.
will there
Adastra,
ever be an Ayla portrait in the game? And they
Adastra,
said no.
rebellions are built on hope, and everything with CG is subject to change, so hang in there.
That was a sad times.
Yeah.
Sad times.
I mean, they also said no to Jack Porkins, and community still wants him for some reason.
I wanted
Yeah.
Porkins. Well,
Stay
mine
with
would
target.
be fairly simple. It's a Baby Yoda with the child as the title. That would be 100% what I switch mine to. As soon as it's in there, that's what I would want. So
I'm sure, if we ever get the child, down the line, I'm sure there'll be a portrait for him.
there better be. There better be.
Hey, Adastra, I don't know if you saw this. I think this might be coming with the next the feats. But if you scroll all the way to the end of the feats or the portraits in the game, there's a Master of the Order and has a picture of Anakin standing in front of the Jedi Council. So the Jedi Council is the ruling body of the Jedi Order. I haven't seen that portrait before.
Ooh,
I think that might be new.
Dude, that'd be a cool title.
Oh.
Master of the Order.
Yes.
There you go.
There we go.
That needs to be a title, dang it.
Yeah.
There you
Let's
go.
go.
Get these two a towel.
Next question.
Nothing everywhere.
Yeah, messy.
Oh man, now I really, really want that as.
Oh yeah.
We have a few more questions here. Neo Venom question: when is Rambam going to admit Jason Solo is better than Mace Windu?
Never. It will never happen. Jason Solo sucks, and he's not canon for a reason.
We all know he's better.
But he's not canon for a reason. Mace Windu's canon.
Matter.
So
Doesn't
All
matter. Mace sucks.
Next question. What else? 73. Farming golden furnace salvage for First Order to unlock Supreme Leader Kylo sucks balls. Discuss.
It's only 900. Yeah, it's quite awful actually. I just did it, and I can say that I would prefer a rash in my eyes than to have to do that ever again.
All right.
Gold for the in-game Carbantes.
Yeah.
They're
All right.
awful. I mean, that is really trash. I mean,
would you rather have golden eyeballs or Kyrotex?
Golden eyeballs right now.
these furnaces, man. Oh,
those furnaces
stupid.
suck.
Those furnaces
Because
suck.
at least with the gear with Ray was a little bit more spread out. This was like over the top. When I looked at the gear, I was like, okay, furnace, two furnaces, two more furnaces. I was like, what the hell is this? This goddamn conspiracy. But I digress. It's not a conspiracy. It was intentional. Yeah.
Never intentional. It was on. It was bring it.
Yep. All right, two more questions here before we wrap it up. Neo Venom, question for Heinzie.
Yes, Neil. How are you, Neil?
If you can drink Foster's, this is and the question is, if you drink Foster's on stream, I will never mention you turn meter loading ever again.
Okay. Do you want? Well, to do that, I'd need to make some. Do you want? I've got the secret recipe.
I don't want to hear that again, Heinz. Nice try.
I got it last night. I can make some if you want.
No, I really don't want to hear the PP. And
Heinzie, we're on YouTube. We can't do things like that right now.
Okay. Well, here's some I prepared earlier. Right. Here's some I prepared last night. And if you don't know where it came from, watch the stream last night. You ready for this crap?
Wait a minute.
Anyway, I'm not.
How did Heinz get Foster's? I thought he didn't. They weren't.
Yeah, I don't think that's actually Foster's.
Oh, it's not. Oh.
Is that the stuff that Mall Pills sent you with your logo on it?
All right.
Heinz is like, oh my god, this tastes like Australian water.
There you go. Neo Venom.
It's sterile, and he likes the taste.
Wow.
Neo Venom is no longer allowed to mention preloading with Heinzie.
Who drinks that stuff?
There you go.
Jesus, that stuff should be illegal. Okay,
Man,
so,
you were not kidding about your dislike of that. Wow.
Oh my god! What the hell? Who drinks that stuff, man?
All right. Last question for everyone, and we'll go around the corn. And as you give your answer, go ahead and pimp your stuff as well, because it's one of those perfect questions. Nathan H. Question for all of you streamers, and I think everyone except Adastra, but Adastra is getting ready to maybe start doing it. Question is, what do you like most and least about streaming? So let's start with Rambam. Go ahead and talk about what you like most and least, and then go ahead and pimp your stuff.
Oh man, you guys start me off rough. Okay. What I like most about it is the interaction with the community, the interaction with the, some of these people. I've been in the community for a better part of 3+ years, and I've seen these guys around the community with Cubs and Arnold and all that, and so to actually kind of interact with them on a more personal basis, more daily basis than normal is fun. Everybody has a different idea, and so when they hop in Discord and we all chat, the community aspect is just amazing. I don't think anybody's denying that. The thing I don't like about streaming is everybody makes it. Yeah, no, shut up. You'll have your turn. Everybody makes it seem like it's super easy. And I was one of those, I thought it was super easy. And it's actually, it's a full-time job. It really is. Like these people that say, oh, you're just a streamer for a full-time job. No, it's literally, it's work. There's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes that you guys don't see. All you see is the videos and the streams that we do, but there is so much more work behind that. And I didn't know that. You guys can catch me all on, I stream on Twitch. I do GACs on Twitch. I do videos on YouTube, obviously. I can link both my channels if you guys want those, but I'm all over the place. I'm not real hard to find. Ask anybody who's the guy that likes Relic 7 Mace Windu and you'll find me.
Okay, there you go. Next up is Heinzie.
Best thing about streaming, dude, this community is insane. It really is amazing. I only started this 9 months ago. Seriously, it's just incredible. It really is. This community is amazing. Everyone is so damn supportive, and I seriously love when you get a good vibe going in a chat. Like if you have a look right now, right, in the YouTube chat we're looking at now, and everyone's having a ball and everyone's hanging crap on everyone and everyone's just having a great time. That's what it's all about. It really is. That's what people turn up for. And at the end of the day, we know that if we're doing the right thing from an entertainment perspective, then you guys are going to keep coming back and enjoying it even more because we do it for you guys. It's not done for us to be selfish or to be grandstanding or anything like that. We do it to create some entertainment and some fun. And really, that's what it's all about. Because if you're not doing that, you're wasting your time and you're not going to enjoy it, and you've got to have a passion for it. It's as simple as that. So I personally love, the best part is when I go raid someone that is brand new and they flip out. I normally get their raid up and running, get their channel up and running so I can watch them when we raid in and we get like a heap of people in at once and everyone hits the follow buttons and they seriously have no freaking idea.
We did that last night.
That was awesome.
Ranger saw that and Ram saw it. And honestly, when we do that, that is by far the pinnacle for me. I get a massive buzz out of that because I personally love giving some support and love to those that are brand new and encouraging those to get better. And that's really what we want as a community, because the more people, as I said earlier, man, I sound like a broken record, but the more people that cover this game, the better off our community is going to be. It doesn't matter who's in front of the freaking camera. Just enjoy it, embrace it, and give them some love and some support, because without that, we're all may as well go home and disappear and do something else.
All right. You want to pimp your stuff, Heinzie, there?
Heinzie, ANZGC, go wherever the hell you want. I'm everywhere. Done. No, I'm kidding. I'm sorry. Obviously, we'll be on. I couldn't help myself, man. It'd be done. I needed a breath. So I'll be on in about, about 13 or 14 hours on Cub Stream doing Rogue Actions for the first time live on Twitch, guys, which is pretty sick. Heinzie ANZGC. We'll be on again Monday night for our last GAC battle. Gridsy sessions every Friday night US time. I think it's around 10 p.m. Mountain time. I'm Australian, so I don't know the timing, but it's about that. But yeah, come and join us. Honestly, if you haven't seen a Gridsy session, you're missing out. It's just mental. It really is so much fun, and we're going to keep bringing the fun. That's what it's all about.
There you go. All right, next up, good old Maurice.
Just to echo everything else, just the community. Working with you guys all here on the stream, all the cool content creators I've met, and then all the community, right? Like just interacting, all the people there in the chat. It's just that's the cool part. Kind of, it's awesome. Like they've all said it, and I 100% agree. My least favorite part, probably that you can't use the bathroom while streaming.
Yeah, okay, for that.
Yeah, there's a reason you guys think I stream pantless is because I hover over a bucket for 3 hours. So that's probably.
It's called a be right back screen.
Oh, well, there's no time for that. If I leave T-Money alone on stream.
I should empty that bucket sometime in the next few weeks. That'd be a good idea, I reckon.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you guys all for what you do. Congratulations, Heinzie, on 100th episode and Rogue Actions.
Oh,
really happy for you, man. And thank you guys all that are out there watching.
Rogue
every
Actions
week,
preloaded.
Support us. It's really
hey,
cool.
Tom, you coming on, brother?
Yeah, I gave you. If either of those dates work for you, man. If not, we can push it back to September. I know you got some things on deck.
Dude, let's get on it, brother. Let's get you on a Gridsy session, but you got to bring the booze, brother. Let's get on it hard. What do you reckon?
Don't worry about that. If you didn't see Thursdays, I got ripped drunk on Thursday on the stream with Shadow
That's my boy. Let's get after it, man. We'll get after it, brother.
Yeah, Operation Metaverse Thursday nights 10:30. I also stream with Ramon, Ranger, and Avinash Sunday nights 10:30ish. Yes, very very fun time. Thank you. Goodbye.
Well said. 2 words.
Yep.
Next person.
Next person. Yes. Next up, Jedi Master Adastra. I was talking and I was on mute again, so yeah. So Adastra, hey, I waited until the end of the stream to talk while on mute, so that's not too bad for a record for me. So Adastra, go ahead.
Yeah, that's pretty good, Finn. I'm pretty proud of you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like they said, I'm not a streamer yet. I actually only ever streamed once. And I was a guest on the Gambit podcast where I did stream my Grand Arena battle. And yeah, that was so much fun. Just the interactions, between you and anyone that's viewing, the interaction back and forth from the streamer and the commenters. So that, and just everyone else already echoed it. Community, I'm a content creator, so I still experience that community, and I'm, a guest on a lot of different shows here. So it's the community interactions and just so much fun. And so I don't, my only complaint, when I streamed, it was a little laggy, but that was because of me. That was on my end. That my the computer I was using was not meant for it, so that's why it lagged a little bit. So that's probably my main complaints when people that stream stuff, if it lags behind, or that can be kind of annoying to try to watch something. But or if they never or if they're like not consistent, I guess, because that's one of the things that I would want to do if I do start up streaming. I'd want to do a consistent time, like this will be the time I show up, and I will show up at that exact time that I say I will, and then to have it, once a week maybe, or instead of just like whenever. But yeah, there's really, it's more positive negatives, big time. Like just it's just a blast. Never imagined all these connections that we get through this game. Like here we are, just hanging out, talking about Star Wars game and other things.
And other things, yes.
All
Just
right.
waiting for Durgan to pop up.
I mean, it's just awesome. I just love it. Just love the community.
So much fun.
And then yeah.
So nice.
So very nice.
And then Jedi Master YouTube, Jedi content mainly, and trying to dabble some more in Grand Arena stuff. I did upload Grand Arena battle that I did commentary over it, just kind of like testing it out and stuff, and try to do more Grand Arena stuff. And eventually, yes, I will begin the streaming once I'm properly set up for it, because that was noted on that it is not easy. I'm researching it because I like to be prepared as possible, and I'm like, man, some of these other people that have streamed, like even this setup that you guys see right now, like this is an impressive setup with this background, the screen, and how everything, like I want to have a cool background like that. It's like there's just all these different nuances that go into preparation. So I would try to, when I do my very first stream, I want to make it as awesome looking as possible.
You will.
We can help you with that,
yes,
for sure. Everyone here is more than welcome to help you set yourself up and get up and running. All you got to do is ask. That's the best bit.
And going into the earlier question,
I appreciate that too. Like I know for a fact that I could go to any of you to be like, hey, I need your help on this.
Not if it's Jedi shit. I ain't helping with that.
Ram would say no.
Appreciate that.
And yeah, and that goes to the earlier question too about the content.
I would help.
Stuff, right?
I'd help.
Everyone is helpful with the other ones, so.
I'm kidding. I would help.
All
Me
right,
too.
I'd feel dirty, but I'd do it.
Ranger, you wanna answer for RSG and then pimp our stuff?
Yeah. So a lot of the good points have been said already. Actually, I said it quite elegantly yesterday about and dealing with the Master Kylo stuff. I think that's one of the negative stuff. But that mainly is just online stuff. I mean, the positives, in my opinion, outweigh the negatives by leaps and bounds. Yes, it's a lot of work. Yes, it's a lot of time commitment. Because it's not just when you start building a community, it's not just you stream and you're done, right? It just doesn't work that way. Every morning when I wake up, I've got like 900 messages, and I enjoy that. Like, and I take the time to make sure that I reply to every message that it comes my way, right? To say thank you, or when people are asking questions about help and things of that nature. So it's more than just the stream itself. Like, if you see all the work here, Finn puts a ton of time in, creating stuff, and then drives me bananas putting it all together. If you've never seen one of those streams, it's where we're doing the work in the background. It's a lot of stuff that goes in just for the design and the layout and testing stuff. And, every time I get the message from Finn, I was just in the shower, I just immediately run for the hills. Like, no. So if you are thinking about streaming, just know that you have to be in it for the right reasons. You do it because, one, you're passionate about what you're streaming about. The other thing is you want to entertain people, right? Some YouTubers do it as a business. I get it. I respect it. It's fine. But if that's not a part of the initial thing, then I don't know what to tell you. It's not like you're going to have success right away. It takes time. It takes a lot of energy. You have to fully commit to it, just like with anything in life. If you get what you put into it. So the negative stuff is, once in a while you run across somebody. I would say that's the one thing that kind of drives me nuts. It's just a complete and utter buffoon, idiot. You have to deal with some stupid comments and stupid people. I mean, typically our reaction is just delete them and block them. Because there are a lot of keyboard warriors out there. And you also have to have thick skin. I mean, if you have a constructive comment, we're all about listening to it. But I mean, you have people that just, they're just haters, and you just have to learn how to, hey, not everybody's going to like you. You just have to deal with that fact, and you can't take it personal, because I don't. I just don't take it personal, because I really don't care. Unless I know the person and they're having some kind of constructive criticism, I really just don't care. So, but with that, you guys are watching this on RSG. Good job for Finn. I woke up. I haven't slept very well at all. I did hide your stream, and then my allergies are killing me. So I woke up about 2 hours after I passed out, sneezing, and I'm like, damn it, I can't take a Benadryl, because if I take a Benadryl, I won't wake up till 4 o'clock in the afternoon. That's not going to be good.
Oh, sorry, I got a bad cough. Sorry.
What's that, Heinzie?
Hangover. Sorry.
No, I'm not hungover. It's allergies. My eyes are watering right now, and usually I take like something before I go to sleep, just so it doesn't. What's that? What was that,
Preach,
Hansie?
man, preach. Everything you said, I love, and it's absolutely correct. Love you, brother.
Okay, so I thought you were being, yeah.
No, I love
He's
you,
busy
bro.
preloading down there.
Yeah.
You're a star, man.
Yeah.
But you can hear it in my voice, and you can hear it in. It's goddamn annoying. Certain parts of the time of the year, my allergies kick my ass, and I can't stand it. But no, we're going to, right after this, I'm going right into my GAC. So I'm gonna do my stream. Right after this, I'll set up the event. We're going to do GAC. Anybody on the panel is welcome to hang around and help with the battle. We're going to go for the full clear. And I'm also going to be doing the Kylo event. So I'm doing tier 4 or 5 today with the Kylo event. So we're gonna mod. We're going to talk about the team and the strategy, so that you can see how it works. So we're gonna get into some stuff, and then Finn. So that's going to take a while. Finn, when did you want to do your GAC?
Oh, wow.
I was gonna go at 2.
I always try to work with Finn, like when he wants to do his GAC.
I was gonna go at 2. Do you want me to push it a little? I didn't know you were doing Kylo 2. Normally 2 works out for after your GAC. So.
Yeah, it's going to take a little bit for the. Maybe I'll go to Twitch. We could do this together, Finn. You don't have to hang out, but I can start the stream on Twitch.
Yeah.
when you switch over, it cuts off the connection anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I mean, you can do YouTube, and then I'll start. I can do 3.
Okay, and whether I'm done or not, you can go ahead and just start. Does that work?
Yeah. So I'll plan for a 3 o'clock
stuff. Okay, we'll shoot for that. And if I get done earlier, then you can start it earlier. So,
Okay.
But everybody in the panel knows that they're welcome to stay as we do the GAC fights. I do 1 or 2 battles. I'll be Kyber, but it's more about just let's get the win and have some fun. We have a great opponent. He did a great job. He cleared me last night, but my team, although I didn't get any defenses, man, did it take a lot of banners. I'm loving it. So we'll do that. And then, so about, I'll shoot for about 12:45. We'll do that or sooner. So we'll set that up right after this. The thing I'll say too is, tonight we have our D&D Wild Mount campaign. If you haven't checked that out, please do. That'll be at 8 p.m. Eastern here on Twitch, so you can check that out. It's a lot of fun. I encourage you guys to check it out. We've gotten all the bells and whistles, and we've really gone out, and it's a lot of fun if you like role playing. So there's a lot of streaming for you guys today, and that's the way we like it. And the last thing I'll say is make sure you hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already. If you like the content, hit the subscribe button. And not only just for us, please go check out these other wonderful content creators if you haven't had a chance to check them out already, either on Twitch or YouTube. They take the time to come here on a Saturday morning and to answer your questions and to entertain you and you know, just show them some love. The simple things make the most difference. Just watching a video or hitting the thumbs up, just these small things does really help any kind of content creator, and it just makes them feel better when they see people that are watching their stuff, right? So if you can do that, please do, and then do the same thing for us. So I think that's it. Any other announcements, Finn? I think I covered all the stuff that's coming up for streams. Anything else that I missed or anything?
Nope, I think that's it.
Okay, so I think we covered everything. So with that, we're going to call this one done. So on behalf of myself and, of course, big shout out to Finn for stepping up for the Jedi Academy today. Oh, goodness. It's a big step up because I didn't want to get up. I was just like, nope, I'll sleep in it a little bit. I got to do, especially if I got to do Wild Mount campaign tonight, I need some rest. I can't do like 3 hours and just be a mess. So with that, we're going to call this one done. Be safe. Last thing I'll say is wash your hands, wash your face, wear your gloves, social distance. Coronavirus is real. It's not a hoax. Take it seriously. Protect yourself and mainly protect those around you, because you know that's the thing. You may be asymptomatic, you won't get sick, but you could give it to somebody else who could get really sick and even worse, and we don't want that to happen. So we're only going to get through this if we all come together and do the right thing. So do the right thing, y'all. I mean, I do it. I everywhere I go, I carry my little pack with me now. It's got my mask, it's got gloves, it's got sanitizer. I don't screw around that. When I get home, every time I go out, I wash my hands. I do the happy birthday, like happy birthday and hot water. I do it twice, and it's just what you have to do. So
it sucks. We don't like it, but we got to do it.
Yeah, it is what it is, right? It's simple things. I mean, what, 2 minutes out of your life to do something that could save lives, so
save others, not yourself.
Yeah. We don't care about ourselves. I'm kidding you. We gotta look out for yourself. Don't be Heinzie.
Don't be me.
Yeah, Heinz is the one that runs around naked in traffic. It's like, I'm invulnerable.
Firstly, I plea that it was very, very cold outside, so I do apologize for anyone that saw that.
All right, we need to end it now. This is getting okay. Okay. We're ending on that note. Okay, Heinzie was cold. That is the reason. Everyone have a great rest of your day. We will see you next time.
Let's see you later.
It's all shriveled. It's all shriveled up.
I see. Damn it.
Second belly button theory.